Hello, everyone. Welcome. Sorry, I forgot to get a drink of water before I started. And put it closer to me. Anyway, hope you guys are doing fine this Wednesday evening. Even with this coronavirus lockdown again, looks like things are going to be locking down again. There's many different ways to look at that. What's up, Dennis? I promise you there's many different ways to look at what's going on, but we're not going to talk about that. What's up, Stephen? Trying to get comfortable here. Yeah. Slave-a-nomics. Slave-a-nomics. That's what we're going to talk about today, this evening. Hello, Amina. Hello. Slave-a-nomics. What's up, Calvin? You know, this was like the perfect name to even come up with because it really explains. It's like when you say, you know how I go, oh man, you're slave-splaining. You got to remember this. Slaves don't really know what that means. Oh, you're slave-splaining. They think you're insulting them or something, right? Slave-onomics, I believe, will make slaves pay more attention to that saying, and I'm going to explain it to you in this show, so slaves will get it, right? Because I promise you, slaves, you guys don't get it, and I can prove it to you. Okay. Now, if you're new to the channel, I want you to understand something. When it comes to this personal finance game, I'm never, ever mathematically incorrect, ever. I'm never wrong, ever, mathematically speaking, personal finances. I'm never wrong. Now, I don't know how many channels you can go to that somebody says that and can actually prove it, right? You know, I'm just not saying it. Even if, like, you hear me say it and you're like, oh man, that's his ego talking. He just thinks he's all that. No, I'm saying to you, I can prove everything I'm saying with mathematics. I'm never wrong, ever. Okay. What's up, LJ? Did you get the Cash App? Oh, was that you? Man, I appreciate that. I did. Thank you. Thank you, Quentin. Let me make sure, because let's see. But I believe I did. Still learning how to work this thing, how to see. Okay. Yeah, I did. Thank you, sir. I saw that. Okay. That was Friday, too. Appreciate it. Same to you, Kirkland. Appreciate the Cash App donation. Thank you. Thank you. Now, if you're new to my channel, my name is LJ Young, and I am, sorry, reading at the same time. I'm a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them financially see outside what I call the debt matrix. The debt matrix is the place where everybody lives that believes in credit and debt, finance, and everything that goes down in value, and cannot figure out why they're living paycheck to paycheck. Just can't figure it out. Oh man, it can't be that car I'm financing for 84 months. It can't be that house I'm financing for 30 years. It can't be that. Can't be that. It can't be those student loans that are older than my children. No, that can't be it. No, it's got to be taxes. It's got to be something. It can't be that $700 a month car payment I'm doing for 84 months. It can't be that. It can't be that gap insurance I'm paying. By the way, what is gap insurance for anyway? I don't even know what that is. All my friends have it, so it must be good. That. That's why you can't see it, because everybody around you is doing the exact same thing. You guys are all slaves. You don't even know it. Now, I'm not saying anything negative about you, because that's where I lived for the first 40 years of my life. I was a slave. And I didn't even know it. And then I didn't even know I was a slave by choice. See, that's the crazy part about being a slave. You're choosing to be a slave. I was choosing to be a slave for the first 40 years of my adult life. 40 years. How did I choose it? You're probably thinking, who chooses to be a slave? Only slaves choose not to trust mathematics. Only slaves do that. Now you're probably thinking, what do you mean by that? Okay, I'll show you. If you financed a house for 30 years, you didn't get the house on sale. All I had to do is just do the math, and I would clearly see the sale price of that house didn't apply to me because I was financing it, right? Well, that's why I was choosing to be a slave. Then I woke up, found Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey said, "Hey, LJ, take the math that you learned in grade school and apply it to your finances, and you'll win with money." And that's what I did. Now I'm free. This is why I don't care what people say about Dave Ramsey. If it wasn't for Dave Ramsey, I would not be on this mic in front of you talking right now. I would not have been. I was a slave, didn't know I was a slave. When you're a slave, what's called an unconscious slave, okay? You guys, you know what kind of voice that you have to have in your head? And I'm explaining this to you, okay? This is how I stopped being a slave. Something inside of me kept saying something was wrong. I kid you not. I kid you not. Something inside of me kept saying something was wrong. Even though I had the nice car, the nice place to live, the nice clothes, the shoes, the rims, the blah, 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 the good job, 6-figure. Something just would not shut up and say something was wrong. And I found it. I was in debt. I was a 6-figure earning slave. I was a college educated, six-figure earning, tier 3 network engineer, top dog, whatever, blockety blah title that my job gave me, slave. I was just like you. First thing you ask, hey, what do you do for a living? Hey, as soon as you meet somebody, what do you do? What do you do? I'm going to tell you something, you guys. Only slaves do that. You know why slaves do that? Because it doesn't matter what the person does. It doesn't matter how much they get paid a year. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how successful their business is. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you see them on Facebook traveling all around the world and do all this crazy stuff that you would. It doesn't matter. If you see them going places and they're in debt, they're just slaves traveling to different countries. They got to come back. You got to remember, slaves got to come back. That's why it's called a vacation. It's temporary. Slaves have to come back. They know that. They're just slaves doing stuff. It doesn't matter as long as they're in debt. That's where I was. And then I woke up, found Dave Ramsey. Now I'm free. Never been more free in my entire life. This is a gift. A gift right in front of my fucking face the whole time. The math that I learned in grade school. I swear to you, that's all you need. That's it. And I remember when I was a kid, because I used to love math and money games in grade school. I used to love that shit. Loved it. After we got out of grade school, that shit stopped. I used to ask myself, hey, why did those math and money games stop? And then I just went on with my life. You know why? Because that's all you need. You need nothing more than grade school math. Apply it to your finances. Now, here's the glitch. This is how I get you guys out of the debt matrix, slaves. This is how I got out of the debt matrix. I added up all my savings. I added up all my debt. Yes, including mortgage, student loans, collections, credit cards, 7-year drop-offs, all the shit that you believe this doesn't exist. It exists. Then I just savings minus debt equals how much money I had in real life. That's the part that was the tough part. Believe in it. Believing it. All you got to do is believe the math. If you're a slave and you're in the background listening, all you got to do is log into your Credit Karma, click on accounts. You're going to see that large negative number. That is how much you are worth. Now you got to do is believe it. They're showing you everything. Getting people out of debt matrix. I'm trying to tell you guys something. They're showing you every day. All you got to do is just believe it. So I got to get some water. 1 second. Now let's get to slave-onomics so you guys can get it. Slave-onomics is when slaves that don't believe that don't trust math try to explain economics to people that do. That's called slave-onomics. Unconscious slaves do that. Unconscious slaves try to tell you about investing. They try to tell you how much to save. 30% of your credit. Don't utilize 30% of your credit card. That way your credit score won't be affected. That's called slave-onomics. Only slaves worry about that stuff. You get out of debt, you will clearly see that has nothing to do with you. Nothing. Credit is a business. Once you get out of debt, you will clearly see that credit is a business. When you get out of debt, you will understand that zero starts with you. Your whole financial life, zero starts with you. So if you are below zero, you have no idea. Those people that come to you and they're in debt and they're trying to tell you how to invest, and this is what you got to clearly listen to this, okay? They tell you how to invest. It doesn't matter who they are. They're real estate agents, they're lawyers, they're even investors on the stock market. It doesn't matter. If they're trying to tell you about the economy, and I swear to God, I promise you this, if it's someone that's in debt trying to tell you about the economy, they don't know how the economy truly works. I promise you. How do I know this? They don't even know where their own personal economy is at. Ask a slave just like this that tries to talk to you about the economy. You say to them, you turn to them and say, what about the economy of you? How is the economy of you doing? And then they'll probably ask, hey, what do you mean by that? You say, add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. So if that number is real, the economy of you is bad. Slaves, you guys don't understand. The economy is just the economy. The only person the economy favors are those who trust mathematics. That's how it works. Slave-onomics. Put an A in there. Hopefully I did. Oh, I did. Oh, I meant to put A. Dang it. My bad. It's slave-onomics, not slave-onomics. I got to change that. It's slave-onomics. So say for instance, a slave tries to talk to you about some investment that they're getting. No, let's put it this way. the slaves that believe they're getting a certain percentage on their retirement. Okay, they say, hey, I've been in my retirement for this, I'm vested at that. If I get this, I get a 6% return on the 401k if I do this. Okay, if the economy of themselves is not good, everything they're saying, they have no idea what they're saying because it doesn't make any sense. And here, let me show you so you can understand. Okay, when somebody tells you they're investing in their 401k when they're in debt, okay, if that person added up all their savings and added up all their debt, savings minus debt equals how much money you have to invest in a 401k. Now again, this is gonna puzzle you. This is gonna blindside you because you're not really gonna understand it. But all you gotta do is just take your feelings out of it and just look at the mathematics. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have to invest in your 401k. Now you're gonna look at a large negative number. You're gonna say to yourself, well, if that's a large negative number, that's impossible. You're exactly right. But when I log in, it says money's there. You're exactly right about that too. The only thing you're wrong about, you're thinking it's your money and it's not. You have no money. You just added up all your savings and debt and saw that you're in the negative. You're probably thinking, then how can I have my money in my 401k? You can't. That's impossible. But again, you log in and you see money and you see that you've been contributing for years. Yeah, you think you have, but you haven't. That's not your money. That's called slave-onomics. People, when slaves that don't trust math try to tell people about the economy that do trust math. You don't even get it. Every time somebody tries to explain how much when they think they're getting a return on their money of some whatever this year's 2020 investment is, it doesn't matter. Each economy of themselves counts. The next time somebody tells you they got a good investment, especially now in 2020, I want you to stop and say, hey man, are you still paying on your student loans? If they tell you yes, everything they're telling you is wrong. They could see that themselves. That slaves don't know zero starts with themselves, the economy of themselves. I can prove that too. Everything. Now remember, everything I'm telling you, slave, if this is hard to swallow, take your feelings out of it and remember what I keep saying. Everything I'm telling you, I can prove 100% to be true, mathematically speaking. Doesn't matter how you feel about it. Doesn't matter what your friend said or what you thought over the years. Doesn't matter. You know what kind of appeal it's got, and I get it. I get why slaves will not be able to accept this. But you would see all that money in there and realize that money's not even yours. That's a hard pill to swallow. I get it. I totally get it. Then what have you been doing all these years? Don't know. All I know is everything you've been doing has been mathematically incorrect. When you find out it doesn't take 30 years to pay off a house, that's a hard pill to swallow. It doesn't even take 15 years. That's going to be even more of a pill to swallow, doesn't it? It don't even take 10 years. That's totally up to you. When somebody tells you, hey, I can just write off the interest on my loan, that's called slave-onomics. On the real side, hey, if you pay, If you pay your house off, you will never have rent or mortgage ever again for the rest of your life. You will have just eliminated the largest monthly expense that you would most likely have for the rest of your life. Why? Because you need a place to live. You have to live somewhere. Living somewhere is not an option. The kind of food you buy is an option. Where you live is an option. But you got to live somewhere. That's called slave-onomics. Their whole life makes no mathematical sense, and they don't even know it. That's the worst and the best part. Is a slave if they don't know they're a slave? Those are the best kind of slaves to have. When you guys, and I'm gonna just give you guys a heads up, okay? Let me tell you something. So people on social media giving you guys financial advice, I feel sorry for you guys. That shit is aimed to slaves. Believe that. The majority of financial advice you're seeing on social media is for slaves. Especially right now. You guys are ripe for the picking right now. You're in panic mode, everything. I mean, it's bad. And they're picking you off like shooting fish in a barrel. Got you all wrapped. Right now, you can't even help it. You're wrapped all in your emotions with your money. Don't know it. I get it. I totally get it. Now, I know it sounds like I'm heartless, but it's not. I'm just speaking mathematically. Because when it's like that, you run with emotions, and then you start just grasping on stuff that may possibly could be true, even though you know that it doesn't make mathematical sense. Like somebody calls you out the blue, they're going to give you a $10,000 check. All you got to do is send them 1,000. If you understand money, you will clearly see that that doesn't make any sense at all. That's why scams are, when you're debt free, scams are so easy to see. Scams run in the slave-onomics. That's where they run. That's where they thrive, because you can clearly see a financial a scam that is crystal clear. There is no mistaking them. You can clearly see them. Like right now, somebody's probably telling you this is the right time to buy a house. Oh man, interest rates are low. This is the best time. Real estate is booming. Why do you think that is? You got to remember, you always got to say, who is telling me this information? Is it somebody that's speaking, in the slave-onomics or the real economics? How do you tell? Anybody telling you to buy a house, ask if they have student loans. If they say yes, that's why they're telling you to buy a house. They live in slave-onomics. That's what they know. They're telling you slave-onomics. I promise you. That's the economy that they want you to live in. Anybody telling you to hey man, the interest has stopped on student loan debt. Are you still paying them? If they say, nah, man, I stopped, slave-onomics. Because that's the time that you should be paying on them the heaviest. Most slaves stop paying on them. They think since the interest stopped, they should stop. That doesn't even make any sense. The best time to buy a home from an interest rate perspective is when the interest rate is at its highest. Exactly. I ain't explaining that. I'm not explaining that. When you if you're listening to this, right, and you pay a mortgage every month, right, I want you to ask about 10 of your closest friends or family members. It doesn't matter. See if they all have mortgage payments. Try to find out and see if one of them turns to you and say, I don't have a mortgage payment. If you come across a friend or family member that has no mortgage payment, and especially if they're around the same age as you, especially the younger you are, he turns to you and have a mortgage payment, that's the person you need to be talking to. I'm trying to give you guys hints if you want to get out of slave-onomics. If you want to stop getting bad financial advice from slaves. Now, this is the worst part about it, though, okay? I want you guys to understand this. They don't know that they're giving you bad financial advice. They don't know they are. Even if you showed them, even if you took not a copy, but you link this video and send it to them, sent them the link to this video, right? And you tell them, listen, they will have not a clue of what I'm talking about. That's another thing I'm telling you. They can't hear me. They have no clue of what I'm saying. Now remember, they have no clue of what I'm saying, even though I can 100% prove it to be true. This is what I want you guys to understand, the power of this, okay? Even though I can prove it, they still don't believe it. Now, this is you guys don't understand. This is some powerful shit. You guys really, and this is here's another thing, okay? All right, I always say this so you can get it. All slaves have a financial pattern. They all do. They don't even know they have it. Especially the unconscious ones. You don't even know you don't even know you have a financial pattern. What is that financial pattern? You don't trust math, and you don't even know you don't trust math. Don't even know it. That's your pattern. Here's another example. Say like you try to cheat on your taxes, okay? Say like that, right? It's all about math. If you're an unconscious slave trying to cheat on your taxes, you're a light being. You might as well be on the moon, and they could see you. You could be on the moon, and they can see you. The IRS would be able to see you. You know why? You don't trust math, and you don't even know you don't trust math. Anything you say will not make any sense, and it will never add up. That's how you're so easy to see. Slave-onomics. Even as I'm telling you right now, even as I'm saying to you, your emotions are probably all in it. Who the fuck is he? He think he's that. He's got a big head. Those are, and I'm telling you guys, okay, so you can understand something. Those feelings are designed for you to do that. Every time an emotion comes up, when you hear me say something like that and it triggers an emotion inside of you, I want you to ask yourself just like this. When you feel yourself getting mad, I want you to stop and say, but is what he's saying mathematically true? If I put those numbers in my calculator, will they add up to the exact number that he's saying they're going to add up to? If the answer is yes, and then you got to stop and ask yourself, then why am I upset? Why am I upset that his math is correct? Why? This will help you cross over from the debt matrix, okay? So, okay, and here's another one. Getting rich is not a secret. There's no trick. Nobody's special than another person. It's not, nobody's holding you back. Nobody's hoarding money. That's all part of the plan to make you believe it's a secret. All you have to do is trust mathematics, and that's it. And then you'll be rich. It's really that easy. And this is here. Let me let you understand something so you can get it. Okay, this is what it means. Say like your very best friend was getting married in Hawaii, and they wanted you to be the best man or the best woman, the best bridesmaids or whatever, right? But you're broke. Your feelings will make you charge that trip so you don't miss it. Mathematics says, sorry, baby, I can't go. I can't be your best man. I can't be your best woman. You would say that. Why? Because you have no money to go. But if you feel like you're supposed to be there, you'll charge it. If somebody's lights, a close friend's lights go out or are turned off, or somebody can't pay their rent or whatever, right? And they call you up, you know what you'll say? No. Oh, you got a good job. You can help me out, but I have no money. No, the answer is no. You won't decide to go ahead and loan them or put it on a credit card or take a cash advance or take out a loan from somebody. You will just say simply no, because you'll look at the math and say, that's impossible. I can't give you any money. Why? I'm below zero. I can't give you any money because I ain't got no money. I see I'm set apart. Says being debt free takes discipline. You know, once you're debt free for a while, it doesn't really take any discipline. You just say no. I had somebody recently close to me. I'm not even gonna say who, but somebody close to me reach out to me. Hey man, can I get some money? And then he shows me a bill that's overdue in the same text message. You know what I said? No. Still trying to give me an explanation, but this, that. The answer's still no. I don't care what you say. The answer's no. Now, doesn't it seems harsh, right? It just sounds so like, damn, you know, that's the way you will be. That's the way I am. There's no joking. No, the answer's no. Especially, you know, when you're not in debt, you can clearly see why people are in the situations they're in. Giving them money's not going to change anything. Because they're not going to do the money that you give them. They're not going to do with that money that you think they're going to do with it. Why? Because they're showing you right there. That's why that bill is late, because they're not doing with their money what they're supposed to be doing. That's why there's a late bill. You don't really realize that the stuff that they try to use to get you to give them money, it's really the answer that should be telling you why they need the money, because they're not respecting their own money. That's why the bill's late. You think the money that you give them is going to change that? No, it's not. They're going to come back to you for more because you gave them money for the first time. You once you get debt free, you'll have this. You got to get here though. You're gonna see slave-onomics. They don't know that is their economy. Let me give you an example, another example, okay? PS5 just came out. Can you imagine how many slaves financed the PS5? Can you imagine? They sold out in the worst economic time in history. And not in history, but within the last 50 years of history. They sold out. You think all those people bought PS5s in cash? No, they didn't. There's millions of people out of work, millions. That alone, knowing just that piece of information, the majority of those PS5s were financed. Why? Because millions of people are out of work. You think people got the cash to drop 500 plus tax on a PS5? No, sir. That doesn't even include games. Now, that's not slave-onomics for Sony. That's slave-onomics for slaves. If they really knew the true cost, that's why nobody ever asked. I don't even know if that's even legal information to get, to find out how much a PS5 actually costs to make. Can you imagine? They make those by the hundreds of thousands. You think it costs $500 each for them to make that? Nah, not even close. Not even close. If people knew the real cost of everything, you don't know the real cost of everything. You just assume it's that cost because everybody else is paying it. It doesn't mean that's what it costs to make it. Slave-onomics. This is why if I see a Ferrari drive down the street and somebody says, "Oh, that's the so-and-so, that's like $300,000." You know what I think in my head? To who? Not to me. I would never pay $300,000 for a car. I would never do that. Because I know it didn't cost that much to make a. You think it cost $300,000 to make one Ferrari? No, it didn't. Not even close. This is what it's like not to live inside of slave-onomics. So when I see a car, when I see, especially on social media, you guys, when they show all these fancy cars, you have no idea. I don't even see the cars. I know that's crazy for you guys to understand, but when somebody shows a whole bunch of high-end cars, and I don't even see the cars. The only reason why I may look at it, because the doors may open up a different way than the regular car doors. But other than that, it's just a car to me. I have no idea how these people got these cars. If they're making, especially if you see somebody with a high-end car and they're making payments, that should tell you everything you need to know about their finances. Everything. Especially if they're making car payments on a high-end car. You guys will stop falling for slaves, and you got to understand, slaves, anything that comes out of their mouth financially, if the personal economics of themselves is not at zero, nothing they're telling you makes any mathematical sense whatsoever. Even the calculation of their net worth. Even if they say, "Hey man, I'm worth this and that," unless you can see it on paper and look at it mathematically, even put it this way, even if you saw it on paper, there's still a different way to look at it. I know that's very difficult to understand. Like if somebody has, say like somebody had a house and they had a mortgage on it and it was appraised at, say like it was appraised at 600,000, but they only owe 300,000, right? Somebody would take $300,000 and add that to their net worth. So say like they said, "Hey man, my net worth is 300,000, but if I include my house, it's 600,000 because I got $300,000 in equity." See that slaves do that. Slaves will include the equity of a house that they don't own into their net worth. That doesn't make any mathematical sense. They don't own the house. Why are you including that? That doesn't make any mathematical. Now, if you did the whole thing mathematically, you would clearly see that that person doesn't know what they're talking about mathematically. You will clearly see that. I'm trying to save you guys for real, man. That's why I be help, and I appreciate you guys all coming up with these colorful names like Slave-onomics and all this other stuff, man. I like it. I'm not gonna be like just the average. You should hear slaves. "Oh man, you shouldn't be calling people slaves. That's bad, man. You setting our people back." You know what I turn to him and say? You know what I would learn? You know where I learned slave from? The Bible. The Bible, Proverbs 22:7 says, the borrower is slave to the lender. So if you have a mortgage, the bank is the lender and you're the slave. And so when I say slave, I'm like, that statement was there before I was even born. That statement will be there well after I'm dead. So I didn't come up with it. All right, let's see who's up in here, man. I see Andre, Aaron. Hello, Underground. I'm set apart. Says I can't wait to sell my house so I can buy a house cash. It'll be on the market by the end of the year. Conscious slave. I'll be freed in 2021. We'll find a slave to take over this house for the next 30 years. Conscious slave. I like that. I like that, man. I like when you guys say conscious slave because you guys understand what it means. You couldn't tell a unconscious slave say, "Hey, man, I'm a conscious slave." They won't have no idea what you're talking about. You know, they'll look at you and say, "Why are you calling yourself a slave?" I'm set apart. Says, if you have a paid off house, you wouldn't have to work 9 to 5 until you're 65. No, retirement's not an age. That's retirement age is a program. If you get it, once you get out of slave-onomics, you'll say, wait a minute, I can retire at the age I want to retire at. Exactly. You don't need to. Who's behind the switch that says, hey, 65 is the retirement age? Says who? The Wizard of Oz? Who are you talking about? What's up, Jodo? Reigning Woman? Mina, Aaron? Yep, generational curse. Quentin says, one of the biggest scams known to mankind is the lottery. If people were getting ahead, the lottery would be in business. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just, you know, when they do the lottery and stuff like that, I'm not saying, oh my God, they shouldn't be doing that and blah, blah. All you got to do is do the math. And then if you just did the math, you wouldn't play the lottery. You really wouldn't do it. Same thing with casinos and stuff. Better when you have mortgage income. Sure is. Way better. I ain't there yet. What's up, Wayman? Only about 50% of people associated with home liability own the home free and clear. I read 15%. Sounds about right to me. But it must be that way. It must be that way. Mom's been paying mortgage since I was in kindergarten. I'm 44 now. That's, man. And people just think it's normal. They think it's normal. And you know what's so crazy, Live? They call themselves a homeowner the whole entire time. Now, listen closely, okay? If you've been calling yourself a homeowner longer than your kids been alive, if you've been calling yourself a homeowner since your kid was a kid and now they're adult on their own and you still calling yourself a homeowner while you're making mortgage payments, that's a red flag. That's a red flag that you live in slave-onomics, the economy where slaves live. Because that makes no mathematical sense whatsoever. Jodo says, if you don't have a mortgage, don't speak or brag about it. If you don't have a mortgage, don't speak or brag about it. I almost made that mistake at work. Some folks are happy slaves and don't care for the presence of aliens. Yeah, you can't tell. Hey, let me tell you, Jodo, this is what you're doing, okay? If you go to work and you say, I don't have a mortgage, this is what you're really doing. Hey, everybody. Hey, I'm an alien. I'm an alien. Look, I'm doing jumping jacks. Hey, I'm an alien. Look at my big head, my big eyes. Look, that's what you can't say stuff like that. You got to feel bad. Hey, my mortgage, blah, blah, blah. These are rough times. You got to fit in, man. Underground says low vibrational slaves have predictable patterns. Yes, they do. They don't even, Underground, they don't even know it. I swear to you guys, especially if you're a slave listening in the background, this is true. This is true. We can see you, but you can't see us. I'm one of the rare aliens right now that will tell you to your face. Okay? I will only expose myself on this channel. But I promise you, we can see you, but you can't see us. Now, when I say, don't think like I'm invisible or something, okay? I'm physical. You can say, hey, there's LJ. He's black. He's 50. Yeah, I'm here. I know you can see me, but you can't see me. But don't worry, there's not a lot of us, okay? So it's not like there's a group of us that live in your neighborhood or something, right? First the alien, because there's a lot of aliens out there. They don't know they are. They know something's wrong. They know they're different. They know they don't think the same way other people, the majority of people do. They're kind of lost. That was me. But then you come out of you like, oh shit, that's why they think like that. And then you'll find other people the same way. Okay, that's how it works. They don't even know math, so how can they know? They don't even know. They don't even know. They don't even know that they don't know math. They even got, check this out. Slaves even got calculators. Everybody got a calculator app on their phone. They still don't use it. Trifling cousins always ask for money and never pay it back. Yeah, I just say no, nope. Hey LJ, what's up? Hey man, hey yeah, no. You guys got to get comfortable with that no, but you got to have that no that means it. Now I know a lot of it comes through text. So when they start giving you that long sob story of why this happened and that happened, you just respond with no in caps, exclamation point, no. That way, when they see that no, they know that it's not a no, that's kind of no, or maybe they will know for sure it's a no. You guys know if you're giving family or friends a solid no. I'm telling you, you got to give them a no so they get it. Don't worry about if they're not going to like you anymore. Don't worry about if they're not going to, that's their problem. If the bank doesn't trust you with money, why should I trust you with mine? Exactly. If the bank, if they come to you and say, "Hey man, the bank turned me down for a car loan, will you co-sign?" You say no. They're gonna say, "Why not?" Because the bank turned you down. Why would I say yes if the bank told you no? That doesn't mean they got more money than me. The bank has trillions of dollars, and they told you no. I don't have trillions of dollars, so why would I tell you yes? Right away, you must put yourself first. The money won't fix the situation. They need a lifestyle change first. Sure do. William says, when people ask for money, I tell them, may God be with you. Oh, that's funny right there. I don't play games anymore, but if I had a PS4, I would just keep it. They still make the new games for PS4. See? But people have to have the latest and greatest. I get it. It's business. Straight business. I get it. They upgrade the game systems like they do iPhones every year. They sure do. Make more money. PS5 probably costs about $40 to make, especially if Sony is the supplier that makes all the parts. And I heard some PS5s are going for some crazy amount on eBay because they're sold out. My grandma started calculating the overtime I worked over the years and started doing math. I had to change the subject. My grandma started calculating the overtime I worked. Oh, okay. Over the years and started doing the math. I had to change the subject, start doing the math. They have to make expensive cars for the high-paid slaves. Yeah, those celebrities are in debt too. 50 Cent went bankrupt. Now, you got to be like, when you hear this is what I want you guys to understand, especially you guys that are newly understanding something. When you hear stars talk about going bankrupt, you got to hear if they're talking about a business. Okay? If they say 50 Cent went bankrupt, his business went bankrupt, if you hear business, that's different. Okay? If they say he went bankrupt personally, that's different. But if one of his businesses go bankrupt, that don't think about that kind of stuff. That happens in business all the time. Don't worry about that. You always listen for the personal stuff. No, you spelled it right, Nick. I just did it wrong. I meant to put slave-onomics. That's all. I spelled that wrong. What's up, Hyphy? Hyphy says, brother recently got a Maserati and treats it as a flagship of his life. All I see is a black car. Exactly. It doesn't. You guys really don't get it. I know it's hard to believe that. Like if I saw a Lamborghini, I would just see a car that looks different than all the other cars. That's it. Nothing special. Like when I see Teslas, right? They're cool looking, electric. You know what I see? Wow, what an innovator. Elon Musk, that's brilliant. All they do is make electric cars look cool. That's it. Because you got to remember, electric cars have been always ugly. It's not really about running on electricity. It is and it isn't, okay? It is and it isn't. But he just said, hey, look, electric cars are normally ugly. I'm gonna make them look cool. And now he's a multi-bazillionaire for it. That's all. And I'm sure, no, I'm sure he did some other things, right? To get over the gas owners, the people that control gas, and that I'm sure tried to fight him, right? Every time you remodel your house, you're fixing up the house for the bank. Yeah, that's the bank's house. Yeah, I don't know what that means. 22. Oh, 20. Oh, Proverbs 22:7 equal 3 point. I don't understand what 3.14 equal PI though. I don't understand what that part means. Raining Woman says, I literally watched my mother pay off 2 houses and 2 cars before she retired. This would have been her 3rd house that she paid off. That's why I had no problem assuming the mortgage when she passed. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, you hear somebody even just pay off a house, like one house. That's a huge accomplishment, okay? Huge. Those loan modifications just readjust your loan back to 30 years of payments. Yeah, when you refinance your house, yes. Slaves have no idea zero begins with them. It's the economy of you. Once you get, in order to work with the true economy, in order to connect to it like a puzzle, the economy of you must be right. You cannot be in the negative. Or your whole life, this is a hard pill to swallow. If you've been in debt all your life and you believe debt is just part of life, you just believe you'll have debt until you're dead, the economy of you is down, and it's been down your whole life. My mother lived, worked, and retired on her own terms. I am doing the same. Better believe it. You retire on your own terms. Because let me tell you guys something, okay? And I like to explain this the best way I can. All right. And this is not to say anything negative about anybody with a job. Okay. I want to make sure that's clear. All right. Let me make sure this also clear too. Okay. When you become debt free, people that are not in debt don't work at jobs they hate. People not in debt will only work at jobs they enjoy or like, or work with the people they work with, the money that they want. That's where people that are not in debt free work. They don't work at jobs they hate. The people that work at jobs they hate, they are there because they're in debt. That's why they accept the disrespect that their job gives them. That's why you accept it. If your boss talks to you like shit, they give you fucked up hours, and you don't get the days you want off and all this other stuff. That's why they do that to you, because you have to be there. Because if you were not in debt, you wouldn't tolerate that. You would quit. Got it? So when I'm explaining to you this, your goal in life should be to own the time in your life. You know you're going to be dead. Everybody dies. That's guaranteed. There's no misunderstanding of that. There's no like, hey, maybe I won't. Everybody dies. By default, that makes the time in your life worth the most valuable thing on earth by default. You do whatever it takes to own 100% of it. You do whatever it takes to own 100% of it. Now, if there's 7 days a week, If you work 5 of those days and you get weekends off, that means your job owns 5 days of the week and you own 2. Now, even with the 5 days that they pay you for, if you answer emails after hours, phone calls after hours, and on weekends, you own even less of those 2 days. Not only do you own less of the 2 days, you're giving it away for free because they're only paying you for 5 days. That by default says they own more of the time in your life than you. I didn't understand that until I quit my job. I didn't quit my job because I hated my bosses. I never had a job that people just disrespected me. I didn't even allow that. Even when I was in debt, I didn't allow that, right? I quit because that was the only way I was going to that was the only way I was going to figure out how to own the majority of the time in my life. And I promise you this, once you experience it, once you understand it, once you feel it, there is no going back. Ever. There is no going back. There's never any going back. 40-hour work weeks, weekends off, people telling me when it's lunchtime and break time, and when what days I can go on vacation, what day I can do this, what day I can go to see the doctor, what day I got to get permission for all that. You got to get permission for all that. Now, if you take another step back and you say, damn, I'm a grown person, but I got to ask permission to do all this shit. Yes, you do. What are you going to do to change it? You know why you need permission? Because they own more of the time in your life than you. The very reason why you live in slave-onomics. Get it? Right now, I don't have a job. I've been debt-free for years. I'm still 1% slave. I own 99% of my time. I'm still 1% slave. Why am I still 1% slave? Because I do not own where I live yet. I don't own where I live yet. Now, even slaves will say, oh man, he's 50. There's no way he's going to pay for a $300,000-$400,000 house. Says who? You? When you think like that, the only person you can be talking about is you. When you say things like that, when you hear people say that, hey, there's no way you can pay for a $400,000. There's no way you can buy a house cash in California. There is no way you can buy a house cash in New York. You got to take a step back and say, they can only be talking about themselves. They're telling you out loud what they believe they cannot do. You can't turn to them and say, hey, are you saying everybody can? I guarantee you there's a person or two up there that can pay cash for a house wherever you think it's too expensive. I promise you that. If 99% of my freedom feels like this, I can only imagine what 100 is going to feel like. I already know right now nothing can stop me. Nothing's going to stop me from my goal. I'll be big as Dave Ramsey, if not bigger. Tony Robbins, doesn't matter. I've been saying it before it even happened, so you guys can understand how it works, so you don't think I'm bullshitting. I'm telling you right now, before it happens, so when it does happen, you're going to say, damn, he said that shit back in 2020. Yes. The only person that has to believe it is me. That's it. Nobody else, nobody outside of me has to believe it but me. Thank you, Mr. Wonderful. And it says, you can't see inside me and inside my debt-free bank. You can't see nothing. They think they can. Slaves think they can. What's up, DTN? Stop giving my brother money. He don't ask no more. Yep, don't do it. You got to mean it. I want you guys to understand. You got to mean it when you say it. Slaves know a half-ass no, and they know a no when you mean it. Shout out to Nick Penn for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, sir. If the bank don't trust you with money, I know, right? If the bank don't trust you with money, exactly. I'm not gonna give you no money. If the bank don't, they got trillions of dollars. What's up, Screen Learning? What's going on, man? The slave holiday is Black Friday, and the next is Christmas. People are going to borrow money to celebrate becoming broke. Sure is, man. In the worst economic time in history, slave-a-nomics. You think slaves give a shit about a coronavirus and the economy? Hell no. They care about Christmas and giving their kids the best Christmas that they ever had, that they never had. In the worst, I ain't got no job, but I'm still gonna be doing Christmas. I ain't got no job. I remember one time when I was young, man. I remember Christmas came. Christmas was coming up, man, and we didn't have presents under the tree. And I said, "Mom, where's the presents? When we gonna start getting presents under the tree?" She said, "You're not getting any this year." I remember her saying that, right? Now, as a kid, I was disappointed, but I didn't feel like, oh man, I ain't getting no Christmas. I just was like, wow, okay. Damn, my mom was just straight up, you ain't getting any. I was like, damn, all right. Excuse me. But now I get it. I get it now. I get why my mom said it like that. She was like, "No, you ain't getting Christmas." I was like, "Damn, mom, shit." But I get it. And she was honest with me. The next morning, I wasn't excited to get up and run out. You know how TV make it seems. Get up that Christmas morning and run out there and all your toys and everybody's taking pictures. That's all TV program. That's TV programming. So someone who starts a business don't have to repay their business debt if the business fails. If they file chapter 11, something like that. Same thing with chapter 7. It's the same thing. I mean, if you file bankruptcy chapter 7, you don't have to pay your debts back. Now, I don't know if business is that exact way. I don't know because I don't know about. I just know business chapter bankruptcy is chapter 11 or something like that, right? People like to torque from all the electric. Yeah, I mean, I like it too. It's cool. Don't get me wrong. I like Teslas. Please don't get me wrong. One day I'll be able to get one. Elon's the third richest man in the world. I mean, and when I watch Elon Musk, when I see him, I don't look at him like, ooh, that's Elon Musk. Wow. I just look at a dude who's just doing whatever he's just doing. He's like, hey, shit, I wanted to come up with the baddest electric car, man. I just did it. Thank you, sir. Yeah, assuming no personal guarantee. Exactly. People are going to pay $500 for a $5 shirt just so their family can have debt under the Christmas tree. That has nothing to do with Christmas. Nothing. I mean, I be seeing, like, I rarely watch TV, right? I rarely watch TV. But I like Judge Judy, right? So the other day I turned on Judge Judy. Man, these commercials, one thing you don't realize when you're in debt, you don't realize commercials, right? You don't really see the purpose of commercials. You just like, oh, I'm watching the show. Here's a TV commercial. Every commercial sells you something. It's trying to sell you something. And then when you're debt free, you're like, God damn, it's nonstop trying to sell something to you doesn't even stop. It comes across your TV. It comes across your phone. It comes across your internet radio. It just never, ever stops. And it becomes very apparent once you become debt free. It's really irritating. Jodo says the alien lifestyle will also dictate proper conduct out in the street. Boxer Adrian Bronner has to have a slave mindset. One ass grab lead to a default judgment and then jail time. Oh, he must have grabbed some girl's ass or something. Oh yeah, that has to change. All that kind of behavior, just like he's saying, that kind of behavior change. You don't when you can foresee something like, hey man, if I do this is going to be the financial consequence for that. You really don't do it because you know if you do it, you're going to become in debt. And then if you're in debt, you become a slave until that debt is paid back. I know slaves don't think it's a big deal. Like say like you go get a parking ticket, right? And they give you 15 days, which ain't shit. That ain't shit because you minus the weekend days too. That's on purpose. I used to always wonder, damn, why they only give you 14 days to pay a freaking ticket off? Because that's on purpose. That don't include the weekend days. So it's really even shorter than that. It's not really 14 days. You minus the weekends, right? They know, and then if you don't pay it, it's going to double. And then it's going to go into collection. They're just putting you in debt without you really even knowing that. That's why people just throw tickets and, hey, man, I ain't paying that ticket. They really don't want you to pay the ticket. I promise you, they don't want you to pay the ticket. You know why? Because you're going to be a slave to them until you pay back every penny. No wonder why they mad. I quit when they didn't give me the hours that I wanted. Yeah, you quit. Slaves can't do that. I'm really waking up, a channel that finally speaks my language. Exactly, Undergrounds. You know, this is what crazy, Underground, okay? This is why I'm more open to talk about this. Awareness is a look, okay? You see it in people's eyes. You can see it, okay? You just got to know, like when you look into another person's eyes that's aware, you can see it. You don't know what, you can't tell what level of awareness they're at. You just know it's there. Hell, they might not even know they're aware, but you can just listen to somebody talk. It's a whole different language. It's real. I remember knowing that before I knew what awareness was. The reason why I'm 100% on it now, because I keep trying to tell everybody this. The economy runs on basic math. Millions of people don't know that. That shit right there just amazes me. This shit is so simple. It's just basic math, and millions don't even know that it's basic math. I swear, I feel like Neo in the Debt Matrix. I do. What's up, Kirkland? Thanks for the super chat. I mean, not the super chat, but the Cash App donation. Thank you, sir. Period. They own more of your mind, energy, and body more than you because you gave them permission. Sure did. You got to speak it into existence for sure. I know people don't believe that, but it's true. I'm here on the mic in front of you guys right now. It's true. Darrell says, I remember that day when nobody got anything for Christmas. I remember that. And I get it now. I totally get it. Why? My mom says she obviously didn't have no money. So she didn't have to make no excuse for it. Didn't have any money for Christmas. I don't care what the TV says. I believe I heard you state that debts that are in collections do not fall off your credit report after 7 years. Is that true? Only slaves believe that stuff. When somebody asks me, hey man, I heard I heard debts fall off of your credit report in 7 years. Anybody that says that to me, I say, you can't pay your debts off within 7 years? I would say, how come you can't pay your debts off within 7 years? Not does it fall off in 7 years. How come you're not paying it off in 7 years? It takes you more than 7 years to pay off one debt? That's what I would say to anybody that told me. Is it true? I said, I have no idea if that's true or not. Who cares if it's true or not? That's what you guys should say. Man, I heard these debts fall off. Who cares if it falls off in 7 years? Man, and slaves will say something like this. Oh man, you know, this one been on there 6, man. So I'm not gonna touch it because I heard if I touch it, it'll reactivate the clock. I'm like, damn, you just have no idea what you just told me, slave. You just told me you've had a debt on following you around for 6 years. Sometimes they'll even tell you what it is. They'll say, oh man, this old cable bill, man. I had this this internet cable bill. I'm like, you've had a cable bill following you around for almost 7 years of your life? Nothing says slave more than that. Thanks, Hype. Appreciate it. What's up, Holly? Slave-a-nomics, man. Slave-a-nomics. I can't believe I was a slave for so long, man. You guys don't even get it, man. Sometimes I mean, not as much anymore because I've been free for so long, but you guys don't even get it, man. I'm a smart mother, man. I'm a smart dude. And I'm not even bragging. I couldn't even see that. I couldn't even see that. When I learned all you had to do was use basic math, and that brought me out of slave-onomics, man. It's like, when I first came out, I was like, how somebody just finds religion, right? And then they try to shove it down your throat. That's what I started trying to do with my friends, man. I was like, hey, man, check this out. I found the answer. Check this out. All you got to do is just do this and do this. This is your real dad. You know what they did? We used to get in almost fights. Oh, L, you think you're better than me? I'm like, no, I don't think I'm better than you. What are you talking about? I said, I'm just trying to show you this math. Oh man, if it was so easy, everybody would be doing it. Yeah, I know, but they're not. That's what makes it so magnificent. So magnificent. They're not, and we are. We got in fights, man. We don't talk about money. Man, I've been a slave for 14 years. Well, that sounds good to me because I was a slave almost up to age 40. So 18, it's not a full 40 years, but from 18 to 40. So you beating me, undergrounds. You woke up before me. I always say this to you, Holly. You don't even have to avoid marriage. You don't have to say, hey, marriage is not for me. They're going to take my money. Divorce rate is this and that. You would never marry a slave anyway. You know how small of a pool a dating pool that puts you in to even come close to even talking about marriage. I always say this. It won't care what the woman looks like. This is for the young dude. This is for dudes, period. Not young dudes. You won't care how fine the woman is. You won't care how fat her ass is. You won't care how good the sex is. You won't care how bad her body is. If she's in $100,000, $200,000 of student loan debt, you're not going to care because you're not going to ever take her serious, ever. Goes for women too. Same thing. And it's easy. I always say this, it's easier for the women too, because dudes like to do stuff to show off for a woman, thinking their stuff is going to get the woman. Hey man, if this woman sees me that I work here, I got a nice car, I wear these kind of clothes and shoes. If she's an aware, financially free woman and she finds out that you're making car payments and you might got two cars, and not only do you have one car, because a guy, he'll have two car payments, maybe have a Cadillac Escalade and a Mercedes, and he'll think, oh, the woman's going to think I'm bad because I got these two cars, these two nice cars. But if she finds out that you're making two car payments, you don't have a chance. She's going to know you're a slave. You're just a slave driving two nice cars. That's it. Slaves believe an income tax refund is a come up when they pay the taxes up front. You're getting your money. You're getting money you already gave. Then they go buy a PS5 or car rim. So do. If you are, put it this way. If you are a slave that got on social media on your Facebook, let's just go to your Facebook, and you were telling everybody that you got your tax refund and you're sharing that information, only slaves do that publicly because you believe that somebody's giving you something. The only thing, they're just giving you your money back after they used it. They get the money, make money on it, make interest on it, and then they give you back the original because you just gave them too much during the year. They're not doing anything. That's your money. You worked for that money. The reason why you're excited about it, because that's the most amount of money that you've seen in one time. That's what you're telling the world. Now you're telling the people that know. Oh my God, I get 3,000 back. I get 4,000 back. You're telling people that understand outside of slave-onomics, you're excited about it because that's the most amount of money you've ever had at one time. And you only get it that once a year. And you're not getting anything. When you go to place, when you see businesses say, hey, use your tax payment, use your tax check for a down payment, open this here, use your tax refund as this and that. When they're direct, those ads are directed to slaves. If you get excited about that, they're talking to you. When you're excited and you get on your social media and you tell the whole world, you have no idea what you're telling the whole world about you and your finances. When you say, oh man, I'm gonna wait till I get my tax refund to do XYZ, you just told the world everything I needed. You just told me everything I need to know about you and your finances. Especially if you have to wait on your tax refund to do something. Do you understand? Do you see how we can see you? I'm giving you examples of how we can see you, but you can't see us. Because if you get on social media and brag about how excited you are about your tax refund, only slaves do that. Only you're telling the whole world, say, hey man, I'm about to get the most amount of money I've ever had all year in one shot. PS5 just made a new generation of slaves. Sure did. Whew. You're a slave if you help take care of her child from another man. You're financing his organ. You know, that's true too. Even, it's like this. Say like, now if you came across, if I was a man I can use that example right now. You come across a woman that has a child, right? My girlfriend has a young child. He's 7, but she's debt free. She doesn't need me. See, that's the difference. If you come across somebody, man or woman, I want you guys to understand that's not gender specific, okay? You come across a person with a child. If that person is not debt free, they're a slave. So if you jump in that situation that person's a slave, don't know they're a slave, and they have a child, yes, you will be. You will become a slave too. They don't, especially if they don't know they're slaves. She tried to put me in a bad category. She has tons of credit card debt. Toronto, what's going on, man? That says a lot about a person's character. It tells you all you need to know. It does. I agree with that, Toronto. It tells a lot about a person's character for sure. People think the majority of slaves believe that a credit report just it's just talking about money, right? But you got to remember, slaves only concentrate on their credit score, right? This is why, again, slaves, this is why we can see you and you can't see us. They have you so focused on that credit score like it's everything. Only thing a credit score is to reward you for staying in debt. If you stay in debt and you pay your debts on time, they reward you with this credit score. But what you don't understand is that your total debt tells everything about you. What job position they can put you in, especially finance, anything that does with finances, you better believe 100% that your credit report plays a key role in that position. Like for example, right now, jobs are requiring to see your credit report. The majority of these jobs are asking. Now you're probably thinking, why do they want to see that? I'm not buying anything from my job. They're paying me. Exactly. Because I remember when I first heard that, I was like, that doesn't make sense. When it doesn't make sense, that's usually a key. That's that usually means something there. If it doesn't make sense, there's something there that you can't see to make it make sense. Now I understand why it makes sense. They look at your entire credit report to see how much debt you're in. If you are really, really good at what you do and it has something to do with money, and then they find out you're deep, deep in debt and you're damn near bankruptcy, you're not going to get the job. You know why? You're too much of a risk. Because you'll be surprised what people will do to save their credit. You have no idea what they'll do. Young says PS5 just, oh, okay. Yeah, I clicked on that already. So a credit score is a slave report card. I mean, credit is a tool. Okay, it's just a tool. I don't really care about a credit score. You know, I don't care what it is, right? It's just a tool. That's it. Future is now. LJ, I knew a guy once that told me he owed the IRS $7,000. He became so unattractive to me. I broke up with him quicker than a New York. Never saw him again. You know, so crazy. He's gonna go now and not wondering. He's not gonna know what happened. He's not even gonna know what happened. Man, everything was going so good. We was vibing, man. We was da-da-da. And he's like, man, one day I just told her I owe $7,000 to the man. That was it, man. And he's probably not even gonna know. He probably not even gonna know what he said because he probably tell everybody he owes IRS $7,000. Slaves love to tell how much they owe to the IRS for out loud to everyone for some reason. They always do that. But anyway, he's not really gonna understand what happened. He's gonna go through the rest of his life. Damn, man, I had this girl, man, and she just broke up with me out of nowhere. Yeah, okay, that's what you think, slave. Now, if you guys want to jump out there, there's the link if you want to ask me some questions. See if you're part of Slave-a-nomics. It's not slave-onomics, it's slave-onomics. It's not just PS5. They're addicted to Xbox 2, iPhones. Slaves are addicted to everything. Note 5s. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter what it is, right? You guys got to understand there are legal addictions, just like illegal addictions like cocaine, heroin. Those are illegal addictions. There are what's called legal addictions. There are people addicted to iPhones, PS5, Xbox, but people don't really make the association because it's legal, you know, and everybody's doing it. Everybody got Xboxes. No, only the people that are addicted to it. And now how do I determine addicted to it? People are like, what do you mean by addicted to it? If you charged a PS5, meaning if you paid more for a PS5 than it's actually worth, the market value, because if you knew what it really cost, you would probably never even pay market retail value for it, right? You'd be like, damn, you make it for like $50, $40, but you're selling it for 500. I'm not gonna pay 500. Right? But if you finance it, that means you're addicted to it. That's what that means. Only a slave would finance a game system. Because what that tells me this too, if you finance the game system, you're financing the games. Okay? Because you can't just have a system and no games. What's the point of that? So that means you're financing the games too. Then now that's all part of slave-onomics. Now, when you come on the real economy, you will see, damn, slaves are paying that much for that? Yeah, that's what they're doing. That's how much they're paying for it. Sure is. Make something that you can get slaves legally addicted to, then you'll be rich forever. You'll be rich for life. period. It's not that hard. Slaves don't trust mathematics. So that should tell you that slaves don't trust mathematics, and they don't know they don't trust mathematics. That's why it's not that hard to get money from slaves. But then on the second note, money and this is very difficult for you guys to understand this. Money, how can I say this right? This is going to be a hard pill for you to swallow, slaves, okay? Very, very difficult. Money in any form doesn't exist for you. Gold, silver, cryptocurrency, the money under your bed, the money you got buried in the backyard, the money in your bank account, the money in your retirement, wherever you think money is, it doesn't exist. It's an illusion. Your whole life is an illusion. It doesn't exist. That's going to be a very tough pill to swallow. They think those credit repair companies are going to get rid of all their debt that they accrued. Yeah, that's why there's about 15 billion credit repair people out there. Have you noticed that? How you notice they're everywhere? Credit repair people are everywhere. They're like gnats buzzing around. I can fix your credit. I can fix your credit. Never once. You don't realize most of those people that's trying to help you fix their credit report looks like yours. But since they said they're a credit repair person, you somehow think they know something that you don't. No, they're all part of slave-onomics. That's why there's 15 billion of them. They're everywhere. Those games are $70 a piece, and PS5 system is $570 a piece, plus tax. And when you think about it, okay, let me put it in a different way, okay? So here's a big red pill, okay? I want you to add up all your savings, add up all your debt, and then go savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. Yes, including your student loans, mortgages, tickets, blah, blah, blah. Add it all up, right? And then I want you to say to yourself, with this large negative number, how could I afford to buy anything that I see in my life right now? The house I live in, the clothes I'm wearing, you even have a job, right? And you still see that large negative number. You're like, damn, I have a job. How can I afford to have all this stuff? You can't. How do I know this? That large negative number is telling you you can't. It's telling you. It's right in your face. It's saying, hey, everything around you is an illusion. Why? Because you have no money. You have no money. How did I just buy that PS5? You didn't buy anything. You financed it. Even if you physically, check this out. It doesn't matter, slaves. You don't even get it, okay? This is, when you're in the negative, this is what you can't see. If you're in the negative and you had $500 plus tax in cash to buy the PS5, you still financed it. Why? Because you are in the negative. You have no money. Money doesn't exist for you. Put it this way so you guys can really get it, okay? And this is going to be tough, okay? I want you to do this. Pull out $20 out of your pocket and hold it in your hand. If you got more, the denomination doesn't matter, 20, 55, whatever, 100, 200, hell, who gives a shit, 1,000. Hold it in your hand. And then I want you to go 1,000 minus your student loan debt equals how much money you have in your hand. Okay? Hold the money in your hand. Then I want you to go 1,000 minus your student loan debt equals how much money you have in your hand. How much money do you have in your hand? Now, here's the glitch in the debt matrix. If you believe you have $1,000 in your hand, you're part of slave-onomics. If you know that you don't have $1,000 in your hand, now you're stepping over to the real economy. That's how it works. Now, which are you going to believe? Mathematics or your lying eyes? Which one? It's sad that the PS5 is the last game system that PlayStation is going to make for a very long time. If they ever make one again, people should have just waited a few months before getting it. They ain't gonna stop. They're gonna do something else. They probably just saying that type of system. Okay, they ain't stopping. There's no way they're stopping that. They're just saying they're not making that type of system. So that means that means they're working on something. You got to remember, understand, big companies are like 10 years out. Like, put it this way, like, pay attention to this. say like you live in a bad neighborhood. Okay. Doesn't matter the color, just say bad neighborhood, right? And then all of a sudden, a Starbucks pops out of nowhere in a really bad neighborhood. Now, I know it's not going to make sense to you, but you got to think to yourself, why would they put a Starbucks in this really nice neighborhood? What that really means is this: sometime within the next 10 years, something is about to change right here in this area. Those are clues. Because again, when you see things that don't make sense, there's a reason why it doesn't make sense to you. Because that's exactly what happened. I used to live in Seattle, this area called the Central District. I remember this was predominantly black, bad neighborhood. Then out of nowhere, a Starbucks pops up in there. I was thinking, why would they put a Starbucks here? Within the next 10 years, everything around it was changed. Every tall apartment buildings, nice stores, they already knew. That's a clue. When you're part of slave-onomics, you can't see that. Even if you're in real estate, if you're in real estate right now and you're in debt, I'm telling you, there's something that you cannot see because you're in debt. Yep, I have credit repair team on standby for my clients as well. Credit repair, man, make that money. You don't just pay for the games, you also have to pay for online. Oh my God, they're killing the game. They are killing the game. What's up, Underground?
Hey, what's going on? So,
What's up, fellow
I
alien?
just, yeah, I'm proud of it. So I'm proud of it. So,
Yeah, I'm a proud
I just,
alien. You see, I'll tell
I
everybody I'm an
am.
alien. You stand up, be a
So I
proud
want
alien, Underground.
That's right. So I wanted to say that when you talked about the millions of credit repair companies that are out there, I trusted a couple of them, and because I thought that with these credit repair companies, they were able to clear out my debt and all, and it wasn't really the case. So I was with this credit repair company for over a year, and they told me that, oh, I have just only one item left, but I felt really disappointed because in the course of over in the year or more, I was expecting to have all my removals there. So I decided to take it upon myself to call up the company that was in debt in, and I decided to initially I was going to just do installments with whatever that I was in debt from. But they told me that if I paid in close to the amount that I was supposed to pay in, then I would end up with a $0 balance. So my I think I got reports from TransUnion and Equifax. I didn't get the one from the other bureau, but
Experience.
and thank you. Yeah, Experian.
Mhm.
So I didn't so once I paid all that, I did get a letter stating that they approved of it, so I should expect a $0 balance, which means that my score would increase. Now it's fair. So I came from poor, now fair. So once it get updated, hopefully I'll be like around the 700s or something, and more. So right now, I'm just kind of focused on the loans that I have, like with my student loans and all. But I think like I'm making payments on it. So but I'm trying to get that finished off by 2021, towards the
Well,
summer of 2021.
you're doing it the exact correct way, right?
Mhm.
That's how you're
Mhm.
supposed to do it. That's the only way you really do it. When you tell me that you was with a credit agency for over a year, that means I'm assuming that means they were taking monthly payments. How much were they taking from you a month for their service?
I think it was like 30 or 40.
And they wasn't
And they try
and
to
they wasn't doing anything.
No, they wasn't. They try to they told me verbally that, oh, they expedited and all that, but there was still no results because from what I learned, these companies that whatever company that you're in debt from and that you rely on an agency with, they don't respect these agencies. They don't because they feel like in a way you're kind of cheating them. So it's like, oh, so you could pay this agency to handle your debt, but you can't do it yourself. I mean, some say they may some people may say they're petty and all, but it's the actual truth. Like pay off your debt and then you're good to go. So yeah, so I was in debt with a couple of companies, and I was struggling with my job at the time. So I thought that they were going to be able to do all that magic. Then I thought to myself, I said, you know what, let me just take it upon myself, call them up and say, how much do I owe? And I just said, you know what, I'll just pay this amount and all. And then now I got a $0. I didn't have to pay the full amount. I don't know if it's because of the lockdown that the second
Yeah, you know what
lockdown
it
that.
is? This is what it is. The economy right now, you're doing exact time. Right now is the time to get out of debt because they'll take anything. Because you got to remember, millions of people out of work. That means they're not paying their bills, so they'll be lucky to get anything. So right now, say like you owed $1,000 bill, right? I
Mhm.
bet you could call them up and say, "Hey, I got 400 or 500 cash. Do you want it?" They'll take it.
I
They'll take
see.
it. This is the time to do it because they're not getting any money.
I see. I
See what I'm
see.
saying? You got to look at it different. You got to say, okay, there are millions of people out of work. That means they're not getting any money. So, and of course, they're a little pissed because these credit repair companies, they're taking money because these companies know that these credit repair companies are not doing anything for you. They can't. Only you can pay off your bills. Only you, right? They know that. So they're pissed because these companies are getting the money that they should be getting when they shouldn't be getting it at all because they're not even doing anything.
I see. I
See?
see. They
Yeah.
don't respect them, and that's why it takes
No.
a year, over a year, and then it's just like, why would it take so long? And then it comes to realize is that it's not, even if the credit repair companies do their job, so to speak, it's really the companies that have the power to either
Right.
have it
To say
removed
yes
on
or
your.
no.
Exactly, say yes or no to remove it
It's
on your
like
credit
this.
card.
I can imagine those credit card repair people. The credit repair people. They probably got something system set up. They call the people that you owe money to. They say, "Hey, will you take? I know it's $1,000. Will you take 500?" And the people say no. They probably just say, "Okay, we'll call back in a few months see if you change your mind." They're still doing a service for you, but they're still
Mhm.
not doing anything. See what I'm saying?
Mm, exactly. And now it's just I'm just happy that I saw an increase of it. So I'm just going to be concerned more of my loans, but I think I'm confident that I'll be able to have it paid off by
Once you
2021 when I
once you do
possibly can.
undergrounds, you'll stop thinking about your credit score. Like when I
Okay.
listen to you, you're like, oh, I paid it down, then my credit score went up 40 points. That means you're still attached to it. Once you get out of debt, you'll be like, damn, a credit score ain't really nothing. It's nothing. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You won't
I
care
mean,
because you won't be using it. So you won't even care.
but does it supposedly matter if you're trying to get? Oh yeah, but then you talked about the financing thing
What?
when you talk about um so let's say for instance, even if I have the means to get a house and stuff, but let's say
Uh-huh.
if I want to start off with an apartment, they obviously look at your credit score, especially right now, right?
Right. But okay, I'm gonna give you two scenarios. With an apartment, when you're out of debt, you have money. Okay. So if you go get an apartment
True.
and say, hey, we do a year lease and we gotta check your credit, you say, hey, what kind of deal? You say, my credit score is not that great, but I'll pay the whole year up front right now. What kind of deal can you give me? I guarantee they give you 1 or 2 months off for paying the whole year for the whole year up because you will be able to do it. The majority of people can't. You think they're gonna give a shit about your credit score? And for the house scenario, if you had $100,000 in the bank and no debt, and you go up to the bank and say, hey, I want a mortgage, they're going to look at your credit report. Hell yeah, they're going to give you a mortgage so they know you have no debt and real money. While people with great credit scores have student loans that are older than their children are going to get the worst loans.
I see.
See what I'm
Wow.
saying? They're going to look at your credit. They're going to look at your credit report and clearly see that you have $100,000 cash in the bank, no
Hmm.
debt, and a great job. You're guaranteed to get the best loan, the best mortgage in the United States of America with that because you just showing them. See?
I get it. I see.
They're not gonna care what your credit
Yeah.
score is. Damn, she got 100 grand in the bank. We don't care about her credit score.
True. Yeah, that's true.
See,
That's true. Yeah.
your whole world's gonna change underground once your debts are gone. You're gonna be like, oh damn, I was doing it this way. And banks don't really look at your credit score. They look and see how much debt you're in. That's the real deal. Credit scores are just indicators. It's just an indicator to say this person pays his debt on time, this person doesn't. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. And these are really fortunate times right now. So anybody that is working, whether you're working remotely,
Yeah.
um, with this economic what they call it, the crisis, the lockdown, if you're just having income period, like you are treated golden right now. Even if your uh your credit score, even if it's like fair, they're treated as if it's high simply because you are part of the few people that actually have income coming in the worst economic times that you're in. So when they
Well,
gave
see,
me that forgiveness, I said,
it
wow.
counts on how you look at it, right? But right now is an employer's market, right? Because
True,
we're in the worst economic
true.
time. So say like you have a job right now. This is what they're doing, but they're not saying it directly. Say like you
Mhm,
have a job making 50,000, right? And they
mhm.
say, hey, due to the economic times, we're gonna have to drop you to 40,000. What are you gonna do about it?
Exactly.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna stay right there and say, okay. So it really, if you got a job, it really doesn't matter because it's an employer's market because they can get anybody to replace you because so many people need jobs right now and they'll take any pay,
Anything,
any pay.
anything, even if it's minimum wage. Yep, yep,
Exactly.
they'll take anything.
Yep. So when you
They'll take
see, oh man,
anything.
you're so lucky you have a job, and then you go, but are you essential worker? What's that mean? Oh, I'm working all this overtime. They paying you for it? No, Only slaves do that. See what I'm
Right,
saying?
exactly,
So when I hear
exactly.
somebody still fortunate to have a job, I ask them a few more questions so I can hear what they're saying to me if they're really fortunate or not.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But you
And
can't
the
say
best.
that. I might if I say that, I might as well say, "Hey, everybody, I'm an alien. Hey, look at me. I got the big head and green eyes." So I can't say that out in public. I can say that in this channel, but I can't say that out in public.
True, true. Yeah, and you just have to, you kind of have to bite the bullet, especially when you have a goal. Like just use whatever it is as a short-term goal, you know.
Hmm.
Even if we're in the worst economic times, don't let it deter you, you know, and
Right.
make you feel like this is like the only way. This is the end all be all because there's nothing else out there. You know, there's worse than this, you know, as they say. But at the end of the day, if you have that gift that you just put in the back burner and you let it lay dormant because of
Hmm.
obligations and stuff, you have to just unleash that. It's just not worth it, regardless if it's another third, if it's a third lockdown, a fourth lockdown. Don't care. Just just be free, and because I let my skills and my talent lay dormant for over 14 years, and I'm 30.
Mm.
I'm 32 years old. I'm young, but
Oh God, that's you still a baby.
yeah, yeah.
Man. Yeah, you still a baby, man. 32 ain't nothing. 32, let me tell you like this, okay? Underground. 32 is the perfect age to be waking up. That's the perfect age, I promise you. It's perfect. Perfect age. Because that's that age where you think, oh, am I supposed to be married? Am I supposed to have kids and a house and a dog? I think my friends are doing it. That's that age, right? If you wake up right now, you'll be like, nah, none of that's true. None of that's true. You're perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I'm
can't hear
definitely
you. Can your mic
no,
on?
no. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, there you
yeah.
go. There you go.
I'm just so very fortunate because when I go to other channels, they don't really speak on things like this, especially
Right.
that we're in this virus now, and nobody's really encouraging people, especially people of color, to just you don't have to subject to disrespect and all those things. You can still follow your dream. It doesn't have to be like, oh, a 9 to 5 is the only way, or else you're a nobody. So I'm just so
Right.
fortunate for this.
Well, like me, I don't watch the news. I don't I the only thing I hear about what's going on is when other people tell me. I don't hey man, you hear the president's trying to fight from being nope, I haven't heard anything about that. Why? I don't watch it. Once you unplug from what's going on, because in the real deal, those are distractions. If you follow that stuff, you can't see what's really happening. All you got to do is you got to be able to unplug. Like everybody has a phone, so all you put it this way: just go to a crowded place and see how many heads you see bent down in the phone. Put your phone in your pocket, right? Don't pick it up, and just pay attention to everybody that has their phone in their hand. They're looking down at their hand. Those are all the people that are plugged in. They don't know they plugged in, but they are.
Hmm.
Unplug from that, you'll see what's really happening. I promise you.
Definitely disconnect from the noise,
Yep, the
from the
noise.
yeah,
The
from
answers come in silence.
oh yeah,
So every
yeah.
morning I get up before everybody else. I have about an hour to myself, and then it's just total quiet, or I might have my meditation music going on. But that's when I get my most answers to help people like you to reach out to you. Okay, what's the better way I can communicate with those guys to say, hey, this is the right way. Don't be scared. You'll be free. Credit score ain't nothing. Blah blah blah. Which way? What's the best way I can explain it to them?
Hmm. Oh, see. Yeah.
Good luck on dating too. Good luck at 32. Especially in your 30s, good luck, because you as soon as you hear that they're in debt, that relationship is not even going to be, that's not even going to start.
Oh
Especially if they don't
man,
even
yeah.
see it. Especially if they don't even see it, they could have everything on your list, and you like, but you have $100,000 of student loan debt. What you gonna do about that? They go, oh man, that's one of those forever loans. I ain't gonna tell you. Be like, oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
What did
I'm
I do
definitely gonna
wrong?
be.
I don't know how to explain it to you. I can't tell you what you did. I can show it to you, but you might not believe it.
Yeah, yeah. There's a bunch of, and it's good to know right now because there's a bunch of people that are con artists that claim that they have
Yeah.
this and they have that. So when you
Yeah.
know up front, especially if they're high value people, and I'm not just talking
Mhm.
about males here to incite a gender war, it's just, it's just anybody can claim what they are. But if they tell you right then and there, like they have debt, how much they're in debt, whatever it is, and they're not
Right.
planning on taking off and they're making excess, you bounce. It's better
Yeah.
to know now than down the road. Then it's like, oh, you find out this person owes this in taxes and owes this and owes that, and then it messes up your credit, and you're trying to get a clean credit.
Mhm.
So low, high
See,
rate, low vibration, high vibration.
once you reach this level of freedom, once you get out of debt, first you got to get out of debt. You're already on that path, right? Once you get here, you will tell them. You will say, "I'm not getting with you because you have $100,000 in student loan debt." That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to you. That's how you'll say it. So when it departs, they won't leave wondering why you left them, why you didn't call them back. You won't have to do any ghosting. You won't have to just stop texting them back. You'll say it because you're in debt, especially for women. Because dudes love to buy things to show off to get women, and once you find out they're making car payments, you're gonna be like, "Damn, yeah, no, thank you."
Well, you find out that heavy jewelry isn't theirs. They're leasing how many cars?
big, big ass jewelry, and it's like, yeah, you're making car payments because you're wearing that jewelry. They won't even understand what you mean.
Yeah, that chain hang low. On the floor.
You think you're high value? Why? Because you got the chain on? Well, you making car payments. What are you talking about? I don't get it.
Exactly.
You're
Everything
high
is
value
leased.
to
They
other
don't own
slaves,
nothing.
not me. Uh,
Oh my God, the
you,
high value con artist.
yeah, exactly. You just want to go, hey, let me tell you something. You're not fooling nobody. You're only fooling slaves, okay? You're not tricking me. I don't care what you're wearing. I don't care what kind of car you're driving. I don't care where you live. You're still a slave. You'll make sure that's clear.
Yeah. And they make you want to believe everything. Like they own this, they own that, and then come to find out nothing, there was no record of them claiming that they own
Exactly.
everything.
And you
Oh,
can hear when they're lying. You gotta remember when they're lying, they don't know that they sound exactly like a liar because they don't trust math. That's why they don't know.
true. Yeah.
See how Son of Israel said? He says, as a landlord, I sure as hell would take a year's worth of payments up front. See what I'm saying? You
Right.
think they're not gonna care about your credit score? You say, "Hey man, what's the least?" Okay, we got first. Let them run first. You let them run through the whole thing like they do everybody. Hey, we take first and last months, and then we take a deposit, and then you got to sign the 6-month lease, blah blah blah. And then once they're done, they say, "Yeah, I'll pay a year's up front. What do I get for that?" They're going to take a step back and say, "What? Oh, nobody says that." I'll tell you what. I'll take a month off for the year lease. You'd be like, "Deal, cool." Can we skip all the deposit and all that stuff? Yeah, I'm gonna give you a year's worth up front. We'll skip all that, right? Yeah, we'll skip it all. Here you go. You still there?
Oh yeah, I'm
Oh,
here.
okay.
No, I'm actually also reading it as well too. When it
Uh,
says people with the skills are in the high, yeah, people that have skills they're always in high demand.
right.
But it's all about what you can accept. It's just like you said, it's an employer's market. So you think your job, you're complaining about your job, and you think that this is the worst. But then you go out there.
Yeah.
What are the odds of it being a bit better? I mean, that's
Right.
why you have to have a
Right.
plan.
You
Yeah.
got to. I mean, if you're a debt free with high skills, this will be your job, Mark, because businesses still need good people. So right now, if you got skills and you have no debt, You get to walk in and name your price. You're not walking in, crossing your fingers, hope you get the job. You say, hey, I know how to do this. This is what you're going to pay me if you want me, period.
Yeah.
That's how you say it.
Especially if you include any awards that you have, any certifications, anything that you accomplished. Like
Mm-hmm.
I accomplished some things this year, like based on my performance. I mean, my performance is excellent. It's consistent and
What do you
all.
do, by the way? What do you do if you don't mind telling?
I do patient services.
Okay.
So yeah, I work in the medical industry.
Okay.
But yeah, but eventually I want to be able to like work for my own and all. I mean, I've been in this work world thing for 14 years already. I'm tired, and
Hmm.
I this time around I just want to be able to have something of my own now.
Well,
So,
what would you love to do if even if they didn't pay you for it? What would you love to do? What would
oh,
you
I think
do?
I spoke about it on. Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I did. I mentioned that I actually wanted to get into textile science. I've been
That's
wanting
right.
to
You
get
did say
into
that.
that
Okay.
for over a decade. Yeah, I've been wanting to get into that for a long time, but because of finances and
Right.
because of bugs, people putting bugs in my ear saying this and all, and
Right.
the economy, the Great Recession, and just a culmination of things is just kind of like
And
made me settle to do what I do.
all those people that tell you those things, remember, they're only telling you their fears.
Yeah, that's what it.
See what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Anybody you hear tell you that, you're like, hey, I'm thinking about going on my own. And they say, hey, the economy's down and, this might happen. They're telling you their fears. They're telling you why they wouldn't do what you decided that you're going to do. That's what's happening.
Right. Yeah. Now it's time to take control of my life now. So I just
Yeah.
take every lemon that I have and just make lemonade out of it by next year.
Yeah. 32 is the right age, man. Oh, man, I'm almost jealous. Because I was thinking, I swear to you, I was thinking nowhere near what you're thinking at 32. I was deep in the matrix, deep with a good job, deep. I always thought if I make more money, that'll get me out of this hole. Every time I made 50,000, 70,000, 100,000, 160,000. I was still in the same situation and couldn't figure it out. Didn't matter.
Yeah. Now it's just no more excuses. The information is out there, and there's people even much younger than me by a decade, which I'm envious of, that are making like millions and six figures, seven figures, and they don't even have to boast that they are high value people. The actions speak
Right.
for themselves.
Right.
I'm envious of these Instagram people. I'm so jealous.
Well, you don't be. I mean, always. I mean, follow those people on Instagram, but follow them with debt-free eyes. Okay, so you will see things that people with real money just don't do. Okay, you will be able to see that clearly, and they will tell you. Like, you'll see somebody making a lot of money, right? And then they'll come on their Instagram and talk about their mortgage. It's like, if you got all this money, what are you doing with a mortgage? That doesn't even make sense. Or they even talk about car payments. So like, you got a car payment? Wow, okay.
Mhm. True. Yeah. Yeah.
Just one time to yeah. Once you get and I always tell everybody this. I always tell make your goal to own 100% of the time in your life. Make that your goal. Because if your job owns 5 days a week out of 7 days, they own five. They own more of your time than you. So if you keep that in mind, things will start to fall in place to make that happen. If you never forget that one day you're gonna be dead, things will change. I promise you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm definitely gonna use your platform and other other content creators like Screen and other people to just give me that affirmation, that positive reinforcement where it's
You
yes,
have
you can
children?
do it.
You have children at all?
No children. No children. No
Okay.
children.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
and see, you won't, with this mindset, you won't even, when you decide to have a child, or if you ever do, you won't have it by a person in debt.
Oh God. You're right.
You won't.
Yeah.
You won't even, that won't even be close. You'll never even, so you won't be wrapped up in the court system and child support and arguing with the other person, blah, blah, blah. You won't be part of that stupid nonsense.
Hmm.
That's a horrible
Hmm.
place to be. I was in it. You don't want that.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I wouldn't. And it's good to ask up front how their credit score is because you get to weed out people that could potentially
Yeah.
be con artists.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes. I asked the woman I'm with now, I asked to see her credit report. She thought I was joking. I said, no, I want to see it. I'm not joking. I want to see it. And I saw it and she had no debt. I was like, oh, damn. I ain't never seen that before. She was like,
Yeah.
really? She's like, I thought everybody, my mom always showed me that. She's like, no, everybody don't do that. No.
That's a new thing. And that's a good thing. Yeah. Because then you just weed out the snakes. You just, yeah, you just cut
It's
the
easy.
grass
It's
so
so
you can cut the.
scam artists don't know that their credit report will show if they're scam artists. They don't know that. I know it's weird that they don't know that, but nobody ever asked to see when's the last time a person that you got serious with, people will have sex with each other and think that's not intimate, but they'll say, hey, the credit score, that's just too much. That don't even make any sense.
No, I was also told that if one doesn't pay child support, then it's gonna also show on their credit report. I don't know how
Oh
true
yeah,
that.
no, that's true. That's true.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, that's true. And that never goes away. You can't bankrupt it or anything. So if you get with a dude, right? And you look on his credit report and he owes all that child support and he ain't never paid it, that's not a dude you want to be with.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because that you can't even bankrupt that. That means that will be there until he's dead.
And imagine how
They-
many,
No, go ahead.
and imagine there's a high percentage. I assume there's, even though they claim to not have children,
Yes.
it's assumed that there's a high percentage of um, men that have children out of wedlock
Yes.
that somehow, yeah, they neglect their children. Therefore, it shows up on their credit report, and
Yep.
it's just a really sad state of affairs. Yeah.
And yeah, can you imagine women are, and vice versa. It could be vice versa, but on the men's side, it could be there and they could just not claim it or whatever, right? You look at their credit report, some kid, can you imagine? I mean, they'll never say it, but think about some men that probably have kids, they're not telling the people that they're with, and all their partner got to do is look at their personal credit report and say, what is this child support you owe here? What's that? Oh man, and think if they never even told you the story or whatever, right? That's a big red flag right there. Oh, see ya.
Yeah, and they will get furious with you if you even asked about if they have children or why they're rushing into things, and you know what's crazy about it? Some of these con artists, they're so they think they're so slick. They don't even ask these people. Yeah, the con artists, they don't ask these people for their name. What's your name? How they don't ask their name or even their age. That's when you know they're creepy. That's when you know they're out for
Right,
something. They like to love bomb you and then just buy you all these gifts and this, that, and the
right,
third, and then just
right,
buy you all these extravagant things that you don't even ask for, and
right.
then just to own you. And then down the line, you end up getting tied into something that you
Yep,
can't get out of financially because you allow yourself to be with this con artist, this no name person that claims that they're about this and they have XYZ or seven figures. They can buy a Birkin bag, how many Birkin bags, and then
right.
now it's just wow, like yeah,
That
it's
one that won't
ridiculous.
even fool you anymore. I mean, to people, because people believe what they see on TV, right? They think Rich is buying this Birkin bag, whatever that is, or this type of car, and live in this particular area and this type of house, and it's all they learned it all from TV. So that's why they believe it. So con artists just use what's on TV. That's all.
And they just copy and paste it from there.
Copy and paste. That's it. Like, see what I'm set apart says. You won't even need $1 million when you're debt free. You can make $20,000 a year or 50,000 and be content because all the cash is going to your bank account, not credit. $1 million. Like if I had $1 million in cash, I would never have to work again in my life. That's without investing in anything. That if I put it this way, if I had no debt and a paid off house and $1 million in cash, I wouldn't need to work ever again, ever. I could live off $1 million, and that's without investing $1 million, just sitting there in the bank. Not that I would do that. I'm just saying I could do that without even batting an eye.
Yeah, that should be the goal. That should literally be the goal. No one has to force themselves to retire at like 70. It used to be 65. Now it's like 75 for you to retire. It's like, what's going on? You can't really enjoy your life.
When I hear that, I know they're not talking to me because I'm the only one that can tell me what age I'm gonna retire. So when they say,
Right.
"Hey, we just moved the age to 65," like who are they? They're not talking to me. Who are they talking to? 65 says who? Everybody that'll believe it.
True. That is true. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's funny. Wow. So I'm pretty happy. I'm happy for you that you're waking up at 32. I really am. Like I said before, it's almost makes me jealous that I didn't wake up that early. It really does. And here you are jealous of somebody 10 years younger in their early 20s.
Right. No, I'm real. I feel it's like that. They 21, 22. Look at their crib. Look at where they living at. They living lavishly, and
Right.
they go to all the parties and they go all that stuff. It's like, man, right? It's like that. You jealous of me? I'm jealous of him or her. And it's like,
And there ain't
but
nothing to be jealous
yeah,
of. They following the same thing that their family showed them or friends showed, and then come 30, they're gonna be like, damn, I still got my student loans. Yeah, you do. Sure do.
yeah, they're flexing for nothing really.
No. Yeah, so I'm happy for you. Great
I
job. Great job looking in and paying off your debts and becoming more open with your awareness. I know it's hard to talk to certain people because they're just not aware. I'm glad this channel's here for you to be able to express that. You know what I'm saying? And one day you'll get to where I'm at, and then you won't have no problem expressing that.
Exactly. Yeah, and I also joined the Discord as well too. I know
Oh,
you
okay.
put that on the. I'm not sure if you put. Yeah, I joined the Discord as well too. So
Are you in
yeah,
Discord under Underground too?
yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm. Yeah.
Okay,
So
cool.
I really appreciate. Yeah, I'm excited, and I'm just ready for things to just happen from here on out now. So I appreciate. Thank you for having me here. I appreciate it.
You are welcome. Thank you for joining the SMD family. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Love it, love it, love it. Enigma says, I'm retiring at 50. I'm 44 right now. See what I'm saying? He just made up his mind. He's going to, a slave will go, oh man, you need at least $20 million to retire in 2020. You know how taxes are? Man, there's no way you can survive off of it. Hey, you still got your student loans? Well, yeah, I've been having them for the last 20 years. That's why you think you can't retire. I get it now. That's why you think you need $20 million to retire. What do you mean? Because I've been paying my student loans for 20 years? Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the reason why. They still won't get it. Aaron says, you never know if they may have inherited the money as well, as which is why you shouldn't get jealous of anyone, especially they young like that. Yeah, I mean, I don't really judge anybody. All I got to do is listen to the way they talk, regardless of how they got the money. Even if they inherited the money, right? Say like somebody inherited a lot of money. People think like this. Say like there's somebody that's making payments on a Cadillac Escalade, a 2020 Escalade, right? And then all of a sudden they inherited Say like somebody died and their family gave them 200,000. They're still, what they're going to do is get a newer Escalade and still make payments because they believe now that they got the money, they can afford higher payments. That's how slaves think. That's called slave-onomics. Jimmy says, thanks, LJ. Underground, so powerful. I'm so grateful for everyone here. Elon is going to Mars. Tesla, all the other stuff is smoke for slaves. Yeah. The man is going to Mars. Exactly. See what I'm saying? He's going to Mars. You see the way he thinks? You think Elon Musk is thinking about a fucking car? He's going to Mars. I could only imagine sitting down in front of Elon Musk, and I just want to listen. Hey man, tell me your thoughts. I don't care about your money. I don't care about your car. I just want to know what you're thinking. Why Mars? I know you already know thinking about how you're going to get there. I know that's already been laid out. I want to know, why are you thinking about Mars? What's there? Is there something there? Why are you going there? Why not Jupiter? Why you choose Mars? When you're debt free, these toxic people wouldn't attract you. Yeah, they won't, because they can sabotage if you let them get too close. They lit toxicity will rub off on you, including their bad men. Yeah, you won't attract toxic people. It just, I know what he's saying there. You just won't. It's the weirdest. You can see them, but you got to remember, you can see them, but they can't see you. I had to change this name because it's called Slave-a-nomics. I hate it when I keep saying "oh." But anybody else want to come up there? And if you're in the background, I see a lot of people in here, man. Don't be shy. You guys can come up if you need if you want to get out of Slave-a-nomics, you can come see me, man. Here's my website. You can sign up for a consultation. You know, some people just want to talk. Maybe some people just want to ask me questions. Now, it's only personal finances. I only work on the business of you, the economy of you. That's it. Nothing outside of you. No no investment advice, no stock market advice, no retirement advice. No, the only investment I will be is for you. Period. Most of you guys have no idea. I know it seems like a very horrible time right now. It is, not seems. It is, right? This is the best time for you to become free. The easiest way. Andre says, if you want, you can make millions and pay no taxes. Tax sovereign. Legally. Okay? I want you guys to understand, slaves, you can legally not pay taxes. Legally. If you're in debt, and I will tell you for a 100% fact, if you're in debt, you will never, ever, it will be impossible for you to understand, excuse me, sorry about that, what that means. Legally never pay taxes again. It's impossible for you to do that if you're in debt. Okay? You can't see it. If you're in debt, there is no way for you to figure out how you can legally never pay taxes. You can't figure it out. It's mathematically impossible for you to see it. I think he's looking for a backup plan in case the earth heats up due to climate change. Also, it's a huge land grab if we can build here. Let me, okay, I want to say this, and this is just me. Okay. I don't think we can destroy the earth. The earth is alive. Isn't that apparent that the earth is alive? If we came anywhere close to threatening the earth can remove us like fleas. Okay, the earth can remove us. If it thinks we're trying to destroy it or we're coming close to destroying it by what we're doing, the earth can remove us. I think he has to build trust in the people to get enough trust in the travel. It will take a few months to get there, I heard. Yeah. Roth IRA, you don't pay tax. No, not. Well, we're not. We're not talking about. Oh shit! Am I talking about that? Not quite. I know what you're saying, Enigma, but that's not quite what I'm talking about. Okay, this is something different. Maybe you do. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. Maybe you don't. But anyway, we've been on here for an hour and 15 minutes now. So, if anybody want to come up and ask a question, want to know something, you can now before we get off for free. If you come to this channel and wondering why there's no other channel on YouTube like it, there's a reason. Okay. I'm never, ever wrong, ever, mathematically speaking. I will never be wrong. I will always have the right answer for you. Always. What's up, I'm set apart? What's going on?
Nothing, man. What's going on? Thanks for this channel. Like I've been like just watching your channel. Like I just found out like I was a slave, so I guess I'm conscious now. So I had a career for like 5 years, and I thought like it's in a suburban neighborhood, but like I really can't afford it. Like I didn't even know at the
How
time.
old are you? How old are you?
I'm 29.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right, go ahead.
So man, I had this house for 5 years. I got a loan modification, and it's like I'm back up close to the purchase price. So it's like I'm not even nowhere close. Like I'm on another. I'm probably at another 30 years to pay up 100,000 loan, but it's worth 200 now. So like I said, I'm looking to sell, but like I didn't even know that like I was never going to escape. Like I was never going to end up paying this house off. And like I'm just glad like I realized like I came to awareness that I was a slave. I guess I'm conscious now. So now I'm just on the path to try to make out.
You got an FHA mortgage, huh?
Exactly. Bad deal.
See,
and it don't take that much to get one, so anybody can get one. All you
right.
need is
So
a
anybody
580 score.
anybody you hear that have one, those loans are specially designed for slaves. So anybody around you, that's the first question that if they own a property, I want you to ask them, hey, what type of mortgage you have? If they have an FHA mortgage, understand that they're a slave. Understand that.
Yeah. And I got like 60,000 student loan. But I got associate's degree. I shouldn't even have took that long to get it. But like,
how much you got? 60,000? You said 60?
For associate's degree business, not even using it. Like it's like no
60,000?
60,000.
Ooh,
3 years. Yeah, that's crazy. So I'm walking with the type try to get rid of all this.
No, just be happy you're awake, man. I know it's a lot, but you're 29. Okay, you young. Okay, you young. So don't worry about the number. Just thank God you waking up right now.
Right, and like it's coming. Like I did all this 5 years ago, but then like I think like 2018, I did chapter 7. Like so I got rid of area. I had other debt like up to like 20,000. I had 20,000 in debt, so I erased all that. They wasn't trying to, they wasn't letting those student loans go. I got a chapter 13 started off. I was into that for like 5 months, and then I got a loan modification. They approved that, so okay, you can keep the house now. You can just go chapter 7, convert it over to chapter 7. So because that, and they gave all the money back for that chapter 13. I had been paying for the 6 months, so that was a good thing right there. But yeah, I'm just on path trying to get out now.
Yeah, see, chapter 13 is for slaves. Chapter 13 is for people that don't want to let go of the stuff that got them in chapter 13 bankruptcy in the first place.
I didn't want that car. Like they didn't have that.
They didn't want to let the car go, so they give you chapter 13.
And you think that car, like you think when you finance, you're like, oh man, this is the car. Like I don't want to buy this used car. I'm gonna get this brand new car, and this car is gonna guarantee me that, you know, I'm not gonna have car issues, but that's a lie because
Right.
you had to say you got $300 payment, and then your driving record not good. That's a $300 insurance payment, and like you be saying all the time, don't forget the taxes and the mechanic maintenance issues will come. And if that engine go out and you got a $20,000 payment, like you still owe that whole purchase price plus the interest plus taxes and all that. So that whole thing is a little trap.
And
right
see,
there.
the worst part is this. This is the worst part slaves don't understand. They're not only are they financing the car, they're financing the taxes on the car.
Uh-huh.
You're financing taxes, something you don't even want to pay. Everybody got to pay taxes, but you pay the if you had cash, you pay the taxes once.
Right.
You finance it, you're paying the taxes over 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey man, look, wake up every day, man, and I swear to God, make sure you congratulate yourself for waking up and seeing where you're at, knowing that you're a conscious slave, because you're a conscious slave now. You're not an unconscious slave.
Definitely. And then when you get that mortgage, like that whole amortization report, they give you just a couple pages long, like that just goes out the window. You forget all about that. Like you feel like I got the house, I'm in suburbia, I got 4 bedrooms, I got the driveway, got a nice lawn. I'm doing projects on the house, I done painted, fixed the bathroom, the floor, new furniture. But you still like a slave because you gotta go to work 40 hours, 50, 60 hours to keep all that stuff. So you really not free.
Yeah.
You just look like it, you know. So
yeah, you just fixing up. The way you just described the house, you just described the bank's house. Oh man, the bank got a nice driveway. The bank got nice furniture. The bank got a nice lawn. That's all you're saying.
They're gonna put it in a report when I sell it. And so they got all this. Somebody gonna come buy it. I'm sure somebody gonna buy it.
Oh yeah, this is the time to sell. This is the right time to sell. This is the exact right. This is the time for you to get out from under it right now.
And like in the beginning, like I'm like, okay, I'm 25. I started at 25. That's when I first got the crib. I was so happy. But then after a while, like when you 25, you're like, oh man, I'm gonna get this house. I don't got no kids. I'm gonna find a wife one day. I'm gonna have a big family, but like I ain't got no kids. I don't got no wife. 4-bedroom house. I got a pit bull. Not even needed. Like I could have got like a mobile home or something for like 50,000, like 107,000 starting off. I'm down to 90,000 because 2 loan modifications within 5 years. I'm back up to 90K, and it's like never gonna get ahead. The good thing that the value increased like double because, like I said, it's appraised at 200 right now. Realtor said I could get like between
good thing the value increased for the bank. Why is that a good thing? Why are you happy about the bank's house increasing?
I'm not happy about the equity because I know the equity don't belong to me, but I'm a little happy because, like I said, I could probably walk away from this. I could probably walk away with the equity with selling, but the equity don't exist to you unless you sell, you know. Right, so I already know I might walk away with 70, 80, but I could pay cash.
And if you do, man, you put that money straight to the student loans, straight to it.
That's my thing, though. I don't know if I wanted to go that route. I know you say that, but like, what if I could buy a house for 60,000 cash? I know it probably ain't gonna be in the best neighborhood, or I don't know where I'm gonna go. But
okay. Put it this way so you can understand. I'm gonna make it easy for you. Okay. Say like you sold your house for 70,000. Okay. Okay. Then I want you to go 70,000 minus 60,000 equals what?
Yeah, 10,000.
Okay. What are you gonna buy with 10,000? You only got 10,000. What are you gonna buy?
I don't got nothing to buy for real. I got a car. I don't have no car. My car owed. So like,
you just said, hey, what if there's a house for 160,000? Who cares? You only got $10,000. Who cares how much the house is?
But I'm saying I try to take my eyes off of that big number. I feel like say I sold a house and walk away with 70,000. Like I feel like if I could buy the house for 70,000, like buy the house for 70,000, then I won't feel that pressure on me to be stuck in the workplace.
Oh, you're saying if you can buy the whole house cash.
Yeah, buy the house cash. And
okay.
As soon as the money starts coming in, like if I get 2,000 a month, 3,000, whatever I get a month, then I'll start applying those full payments towards the principal of the student loan, and then get there. But I feel like if I just go straight back to
I thought you said, what if there's a $160,000 house and I got 70,000? But if you could buy a house for 70,000, I would most definitely do that because you could then have the money to pay off the student loans because you have no rent or mortgage. Yes.
Right. Because to go. Utilities only forever. Like right now,
Yeah.
I got Mint Mobile, $180, 12 months. Like that's all I need. I don't need no
Oh,
$80 a
nice.
month plan, or no add on $30 a month for the cell phone plus $20 insurance. So I don't
Okay.
need all that extra stuff. So I
Right.
downgrade. I don't got cable or nothing like that. So I feel like I'll get there.
Okay, no, that's a smart move. If you could buy a house for cash, 70,000. That's exactly what I'll do because you have the money fast to pay off them student loans.
Right, and the thing is, I feel like I gave, like in the 5 years that I've been on this mortgage, like I gave them that money already, and the balance has not even went down like half
Right.
of what I started with. So that's the whole thing.
Well,
Maybe I wasn't.
they knew that the day you signed FHA mortgage papers. They knew that because
Right,
you didn't know that.
right. They said, okay, we're gonna give him this because it's an opportunity that we gonna get this back from him eventually. Like
No, they're
something's gonna
saying
happen
they're
in
gonna give
the
you that
future.
because you don't know. That's what they're saying. We're gonna give you this because you don't know.
Right.
That's see, I want you to simplify everything. Don't make it too complicated. Because if once you're debt free, and if a bank says, "Hey, man, you like this FHA mortgage?" you would say, "Did you just cuss at me?" Well, fuck you too, because that's what basically that is. That's an insult.
Right. I didn't know that then because hey, when they say you can put $5,000-$6,000 on a house, like you be like, okay, I'm gonna have a house, 4 bedroom, like
Right,
just in a nice neighborhood, nice little lawn, small little side yard. You don't gotta,
right.
you don't gotta cut big lawn or nothing like that. You happy because you don't gotta give the apartment complex 2,000 up front to even
Do you
stay
see what
there.
attracted? Do you see what attracted to you? Do you see what attracted you to an FHA mortgage?
How easy it is getting there. Like it's like if it's
No,
easy
the no
to get
money,
in,
the hardly any money down. You know why? Because you have no money. That's why you're attracted
right,
to it,
broke. Because
bro.
conventional loans, they say you need 20% down. I couldn't even qualify for
Yeah,
that one right there.
yes. Instead of saying, "Damn, how come I can't?" Instead of saying like this, because the bank's really telling you, they're giving you the answer. Instead of saying, "Damn, I ain't got 20% to put down on the house." Damn, why is that? Instead,
Right.
slaves go, "Oh man, I ain't got no 20% to put down on the house. I'm gonna go ahead and get this FHA mortgage." Exactly.
Right. Can't even afford it. This a house, nigga.
And say like
Hey,
this, and say like you go and buy you a nice mobile home, right? Cash, right? A person with a mortgage in a nicer home that's better than the mobile home, they will talk bad about you while they have a mortgage and you don't.
in a better position than you is, they don't even know. I tried
Don't
to do
even know.
that, go that route. I've been looking lately. The ones I've been seeing, I know it's probably not all of them, but they, like I said, I'm 29. The ones I did see that's in that range, it's some that's real low too. They got something for 20, 30, 40. But some of them, the whole thing is you have to have a over age 55. I saw something was like that, but I'm gonna keep looking.
You gotta have a what?
You have to be over age 55. So they got communities where you have to be 55 to stay in that
Oh
community.
yeah, those communities. Yeah, you can't get in there. Yeah.
So I have to find the right
No, you'll find that those modular homes are badass, man. Those things are bad. I like them.
the double wide
Yeah.
or the single ones in the
Oh man, me and my woman been looking at those. Those are nice, man.
Hey, I would love to be out there because I don't make that much noise. I don't need the biggest. Like I didn't stay here now. Like I guess you have to go in and make the mistakes on your own, and you got to come out of it. So I didn't have the house for 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So, and my realtor even told me, she said most people only stay in your house when they get a mortgage for 5 years, and I found out why now, because you probably wake up and find out like, oh damn, I'm in debt.
Anybody that says that to you, hey man, the average time. This is what I want you to say. You got your student loans? If they say yes, that's why they're telling you that.
Right. Maybe some people maybe they're like, maybe they go up in house over 5 years too. Maybe she was expecting me to get a new mortgage, a higher house.
They're telling you exactly.
Later.
That's exactly what it is. They're telling you what slaves do.
Yeah, just like with the cars, and stuff. Like I want to finance a car again myself. Like I just had an 03 Expedition, paid $2,000. I've gone to the 02 Intrepid. I sold that Expedition that I bought for $2,000 for $3,500. I only drove it.
Oh wow, made some extra dough off that. Okay.
Yeah, and then now I got a Dodge Intrepid. I know it ain't the best car, but it gets me where I gotta go. But I'll be damned if I give them the amount that I could pay a car.
Man, I'm telling you like this, man. You're 29, you are ahead of the game right now, and you ain't even out of debt. Okay, I know you probably won't really understand this. But even talking to me, talking the way you're doing, you are ahead of the game. All right.
Yeah.
And be ready to lose all your friends. That's the bad news. Okay. I'm sorry to tell you this. You're gonna lose your friends. And if you can't talk about finances to your friends. If you do, you're gonna lose your friends.
Hey, I already lost most of them already. I already know. Because, hey, they think, like, some people think I'm better than them because I got a mortgage. They think I'm above myself. But I'm like, I'm not even there. Like, I just got a mortgage. I might post a picture. You think I'm happy, but reality, like, I got to be at on that clock to keep it, you know? Like, I'm trying to be in the place where I don't have to, you know, I'm trying to work part-time the rest of my life or take a vacation. I ain't took a vacation. I know people that took a hell of vacations. They go to vacation every couple months. You see them posting pictures like I'm in the beach, I'm in Vegas, I'm at a casino, but I ain't even take no vacation, and I got a house, and I'm like, damn, I take all the vacations. I can't wait till I get, you know, there someday. But you know, one of these days.
This is why it's called vacation, because they got to come back to the plantation.
Exactly, the plantation.
Okay. That's why it's called a vacation. So when you see them doing stuff, you just say to yourself, you gotta come back. You're just a slave on vacation because you got to come back to the plantation.
Hey, they don't even hear that. You can't get.
You can't say that.
You know,
you can't say that. You'll say, "I'm an alien." Look, I'm an alien. You can't say that. You gotta be quiet.
Right. So
you'll make yourself stand out. You don't want to make yourself stand out. You got to blend in, man. You can't let them see that.
Get on the radar. But like another thing about the cars, like I know you weren't on that subject, but the cars things, like you trade, like my mom, for instance, like she is slave too. She don't even know. But
I didn't hear what you said. What you said? If you do what with a car?
So like my mom's a slave too. I just found out. I know she was a slave all these years, but she always had the latest car, and then like she didn't even have other cars paid off. And she would go turn the car in, and then she would, you know, they add all that. Like if you owe, like say you got 10,000 left, just go in there and like. Yeah, they say, okay, we'll give you 5,000. It's worth 5,000 now, and now you want to finance another $14,000 car. They're gonna put that whole 5,000 on top of that 14,000. Now you in debt even more and more. You just stuck in.
And you know what? People that get newer cars like that, let me tell you something. They can't stop. They can't stop because they're trapped in the loop. They can't get out. Because they owe more on the car than what it's worth. I don't even know how that's legal, honestly. I don't know how they can roll negative equity from a previous car into a new loan, and I just don't even know how it's legal. But anyway, they're so trapped in there now they have to keep getting new cars. They have to.
Hey, they can go bankrupt, Chapter 7, get rid of all that, and
I mean they can, but they don't do that. They're gonna be like, I don't want to ruin my credit. I'd rather stay in debt.
I know somebody that lost their house because they didn't want to sell their house. Like they couldn't afford it, but they were so attached to it that they lost it because they didn't want to sell it. And like it's just a whole little crazy thing.
So at 29, man, don't fall for. I was just telling this to Underground. Don't fall for I need a house and kids and be married and bloggity blah, man. You on the right track. Don't fall for the social media bullshit. Those are slaves on vacation. They got to come. Always remember, they got to come back to the plantation. That's why they call it vacation, right? So just don't fall for any of that. Just keep doing what you're doing, man.
Yeah, definitely. And one more last thing. And like
take your time. Ain't no rush.
Every time you sign your name on the dotted line, you're basically signing yourself to that job like another few years, like whatever your contract is at the job. And it's really more than that because that's not even including the interest off that purchase price. You just keeping yourself at the plantation like years later, and the jobs know that too. Like and the jobs don't even like they expect you to be there forever because they only give you like if you're an hourly employee, they only give you not more than 50% raise and every year. They don't even give you a couple of years. Like you might get a small bonus, but like their job is to keep you there forever at the plantation. And like they know. So
you're a slave, exactly.
Hey, I told my friend about that. She won't even listen to your channel. Like.
What, she hear me say slave?
She listen, man. She just want to stay asleep. Like she just in her own little zone. Like I said, you can't. Like you said, you can't date a slave. Like they hear some news that like, oh damn, I'm a slave too. But they don't want to hear that because like they're not trying to do nothing about the situation. Like they're like, okay, I'm a content slave, so you know, I don't want to make any steps to make it out there.
I feel like this. At 29, at your age, man. Your dating life is gonna be totally, unexplainable, different. Women are not even gonna understand you. They're not even They're not even going, man, they're going to be like, this dude just don't give a shit. It's like, nah, if you're in debt, I don't care how fine you are. I don't care.
But yeah,
You
man,
got 100,000 in student loan debt. I don't care how fine you are.
Man, I know somebody that just listen. They got a couple credit cards. They didn't have student loans because they have student loans. They just charged their whole credit card with that, with the whole 6,000 they had available for the whole. And you know them interest rates for the credit cards is like 20-something%. They just charged their
what?
whole.
What did you charge on it? What did you charge on it?
They paid a semester of their student tuition for 3 months, $6,000. I'm like I would have just not went to school. Like myself, like I said, I'm at $60,000 debt. I'm like 30 credits.
Well, here's the difference, though. Here's the difference. Okay, and this is legally. Like, if she charged her school on a credit card and she gets in trouble, she can just file bankruptcy,
right? And
it's gone. But if you get a student loan and pay for your school, you can't do that. So say like for example, if you were aware, if I was in your position and I had a house with equity of 60,000, right? I would refinance my house, take the equity, and pay off my student loans. So then say like I did that in 2019, right? I refinanced my house and I paid off my student loans. And then 2020 comes and I lose my job and I lost everything. I filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy, and guess what?
They're free now.
Everything's gone, including my student loans. Everything. But how many slaves are going to refinance their house, pull out the equity, and pay off their student loans? None.
Right. You got to have a game plan to do that. Have a path.
Yep.
Definitely need some direction on that.
Yep. So congratulations, man. You are ahead of the game, man, for real.
Yeah, thanks for your
time too, man. Hey, what attracted you to my channel? I mean, what made you even listen to me at 29 and understand it really ain't got nothing to do with age, but what made you start listening?
Hey, I don't be right. Ain't too much things on TV, to be honest. I don't got cable, so I got Netflix and stuff, but ain't nothing really on TV. Like I just be YouTubing one day, like SavingsMinusDebt, and I'm like, and I definitely can't save. So like, this is definitely a channel I need to be. I definitely need to be checking the channel out, see if I can get some information to try to. Like I always knew I was at the plantation, even at the jobs. I'm like, I'm just here to do my time and go home. So I always known like what the whole thing was like from the beginning. But I'm like, I gotta escape the matrix, get out of the debt. I didn't know that was the matrix for real. Like I just thought the matrix was, you know.
Now you know the movie's real. You know the movie's real now. That was a true story. That was a true movie. I know they call it fiction, but it's real.
Right, and that hey, that's how them what was it, Mr. Smith? That's how them creditors coming for you to take you out. Like Neo got to get out of there.
I forgot. Somebody pointed this out to me. Somebody pointed this out to me about the movie. They said, "Hey, who do you think Mr. Smith is?" And I was like, "Well, maybe it's this business, or maybe it's the creditor." No, Mr. Smith is you.
I'm Mr. Smith.
You're Mr. Smith. Because you had to realize that you're in debt. Until you woke up, you didn't know you was a slave. You were an unconscious slave. So Mr. Smith is you. Once you wake up and say, wait a minute, I'm in debt because of me, all because I don't trust math? Yes, it's you.
Right, and then you want to blame all these people, like you were saying before, like you want to blame the government, you want to blame the Rothschilds and all these other people that don't got nothing to do with it. They're not focused on you for real because you ain't even like on their radar. Like you're really a peasant.
Not even close.
So
when you hear other people talking about these big multi-millionaires, you say, hey man, do you know how much debt you're in? And they say no, you tell them, you don't even need to worry about what any of those guys are doing. You're in debt.
Right. Celebrities don't even matter to you. Like you shouldn't even be watching celebrities. Like once you focus on yourself and forget, like you was even saying, like I don't even watch the news. That stuff don't even apply to me. Like it's good that I got a weather app. Like I check that out, but it ain't too much on the news either. I think that's all fear mongering.
You're right, and how you're thinking right now, that's the right process. Because I don't watch the news. The only thing I watch is on the internet, and the few commercials I have to watch is on YouTube. Other than that, I don't watch regular TV. I don't watch any other. I just watch the stuff I want to watch on the internet. That's it.
And I watched TV one day and I just saw it. I'm like, damn, everything you watch, they're like, even on YouTube, if you don't got YouTube Red, you ain't paid for the subscription. It's all asked to get you to buy something. So that consumer.
I'm gonna take you up another level once you get out of debt, so you can see this. Okay, anything you see that's being repetitively told to you, stop paying attention to it. It's a program. Yeah. So when you hear people's, like, probably since you're born, credit, if you are aware, you would just take a step back and say, damn, how many people believe in this? How many people, millions? Do you take a step back and say, you're not going to believe in it because it's not for you? That's a program for them to believe it.
Right. Don't even need credit. Like you said, if you debt free or whatever, like you don't even need credit. Like I canceled a credit card the other day. I had a secure credit card. I thought I was improving my score, but then I'm
glad you canceled that. Ooh,
I was watching your channel. Then I'm like, why do I need a score? Like I'm just trying to borrow more money to go further in debt. Like I already got the student loans on my head, the mortgage, and I'm just trying to see if the bank could let me, get another loan.
You want a score so the bank can sell you a shovel to dig yourself deeper in debt at an interest rate. That's what credit is for.
Exactly. Like don't even need it.
Can have a shovel. The bank gives them a shovel at an interest rate so they can dig themselves deeper. That's it. The banks are not tricking anybody. They're not hiding. They're not fooling anybody. Either you trust mathematics or you don't. The bank trusts math. Slaves don't.
And they give you a contract up front. Like you sign on the dotted line, you read the documentation, you can see what type of deal you got. But everybody like 500 down, 0 down. Okay.
That's it.
0 down. Like I'm pulling up right now.
Slaves just think about monthly payments. That's all slaves do. Monthly payments.
All I need is insurance to drive off the lot. Like that's all I need. Like I'm coming up there with a $20,000 car. You only make $2,000 a month, and you about to promise away insurance car payment $700 or $700 a month, and you only make $2,000. Like that's crazy right there. So now you got to live off the rest of that. Like what's that? $1,300 to pay your rent. That's $800 food, and it's just a whole. Just keep your stuff in a rat race, and you just hear breadcrumbs now.
If you trusted math, see, that's what, like, when I remember being in debt, everybody always say, hey, man, you're in the rat race, and then they make you picture a rat on the wheel turning and stuff like that, right? But, okay, nobody really explained that to me, right? I always knew I was the rat. Okay, cool, that's me, whatever. Nobody told me what the wheel was. The wheel is revolving credit that I create myself. I was creating a wheel. That's why I kept running, because I was the one creating it. Once I trusted math, I got off the wheel. I was like, oh shit, the wheel don't even exist anymore because I'm not in debt.
Right. I can't wait to above zero. What do you say, north of zero? I can't wait to north of zero because that's I haven't even.
Too bad I'm the only one you're gonna be able to tell. You can't tell your friend, hey dog, yeah, I'm at zero. They're gonna be like, why doesn't they tell me at zero? You got $0.
Right.
All right, what's up, young Grump?
Yo, what's up?
Oh, go ahead, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm set.
No, you good. My bad. I hear like a little static. I don't know if y'all can hear me though.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yo, you hear me now?
Yeah.
Dang, I might have to back out and come back in because I be hearing a cracking every time I come inside chat. It's probably my internet.
Yeah, I don't hear any cracking, but if you want to come back in, you can.
Yeah, because I just hear it cracking from you, so I'm gonna back out and come back in. All right.
Okay. All right, jump back in. My bad. I'm sad, man. I didn't mean to cut you off. Hopefully, I didn't think I did that. Sometimes I just let people come in. They want to talk to other people sometimes. So, yeah, you're welcome, man. Congratulations, man. Yep, fellow aliens. What's up, Yellow J? Definitely. Here are the senior aliens right here. Here's a couple of them right here. When I say senior aliens, I'm not even talking about aid. I'm just talking about mental level. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you, Nick. Mr. Smith is in your mind. If you don't believe math, it's like, you remember when Mr. Smith jumped inside of Neo and he was trying to destroy him, but since Neo now believe mathematics, I'm just throwing my own in there. it didn't work anymore. He's like, damn, this dude believes math now. I can't manipulate his mind anymore. You are Mr. Smith. That movie is real, man. You got to think about it too. Like when you see movies like The Matrix, they're trying their best to give slaves an image of something that you can't physically see. Okay. Can you hear me, Young Grump?
Yo.
Yo, what's up, man? I've been seeing you out there. You've been going way back in my archives. I'm like, damn.
God dang, I don't know what's going on with my internet. I know you can hear me clearly, but I have a difficulty hearing you back. Say something else again.
Testing, 1, 2, testing. Yeah, he must be having problems, man, because crystal clear over here. But anyway, life is good, man. For me, I'm going to just tell you guys right now, life is wonderful. All right. I've never been more free in my life. I'm doing what I love. I get on the mic and talk to you guys about this. We're going on almost 3 hours. 3 hours is my time limit, by the way. That's it, because my voice starts to get really raspy at that time. But there's nothing like it, man. I can't explain it. You meet the right people, because you speak in the same language, so they come in. It's just okay. Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. All right. I've been seeing you out there though, man. You clear on this side, but yeah, man, I can always tell the people that can see, and Young Grump is definitely one of the dudes that can see what's going on, man. I can just tell by the way you're responding, your comments. I'm set apart, same way you can tell, right? Nick, it's clear. You like that go on vacation, but got to come back to the plantation. Believe that. All right, you guys, we're going to cut this off, man. I'm done. All right, you guys have a good night. Have a good Wednesday night. About to get on the phone call with my friend. I'll let you guys later. Have a good one.